welcome to a new episode of the DLP Report podcast. We're back again this week, 2 weeks in a row with the whole gang. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hello. Well, I think this is the first intro that you haven't all talked on.
Well, we did. You just just cut it out. We were talking about lug nuts. So.
I've learned to mute you guys for the first 20 seconds of the show.
Good idea.
Anyways, we have the usual gang. I mean, come in and go in week from week. Jeff from DLP Town Square.
Hey, I'm a constant.
You are a constant. Elliot's not here yet. He's coming back from work. But we have Darren is back this week. Hi, Darren.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Kat's from Pennsylvania.
Hey.
Kat Ravenswood. Steph.
Hi.
Steph. David.
Hi.
Oh, you finish your food? Yeah. And just Patrick, or Game Master.
Hi.
I should check. Have I forgotten anyone? I probably have. No. Okay. Good.
No one's offended.
No one's offended. No. I should really make a list. Anyway, oh wow, that music just stopped right away. So yeah, we're back again this week with some more news from Disneyland Paris that happened in the past 7 days. It's quite nice to have just information after literally 3 months of just waiting.
There's still a lot of questions though.
Yes, but I feel like those questions are going to be up to opening day when we're actually going to find out more details about how they're doing things.
Well, how the reservation system works. That's the big question we don't have yet.
Yeah, and how it's going to crash. I mean, that's the constant. That's what we know. It's probably going to crash.
Yeah, because Disneyland Paris made it seem really simple. It's like, oh yeah, this is for annual pass holders I'm talking here. You type in your annual pass numbers, you click the date, and bang, you're done. We know it's not going to be that simple, surely.
Of course not.
I mean, from what I hear, it's going to be ran from Natasha's laptop in our house, so we should be okay. I'm kidding. And you'll have a nice Chinese urn design on the side, and you click the urn.
Where I come from, maybe.
You click the urn, and then you have your reservation come out of it with a cute little animation.
I can't wait. For Natasha to corner Ben and be like, "So, you're talking about my Chinese bowls?" I'm so sorry. You're so cool. I love you. Yeah.
Well,
can't wait.
Well, she's done this whole photo shoot in a park, and she looks great. She looks rested and ready to rock.
Ready to rock XL. Get those numbers.
Even though she was not wearing her leather jacket that time on those photos. Or maybe she is. I don't even know.
No, stop.
So, what has
she was
happened?
She was standing next to a good fireman. It's fine. No. Disneyland Paris firemen are good.
Is it just me, or is it whenever I see someone wearing a red coat in a theme park, I'm like Butlins? I'm like, that just sorry.
I don't know what that is.
That sort of fell flat because people don't know what Butlins is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like an old UK theme park type thing, and the red coats were always these they would all wear red jackets.
The entertainers,
entertainers, and it would be you go away and get a chalet for the weekend, and it would be great crack, and you'd have all the sing songs and everything. So you would.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. We'll Google Butlins later after the show, Cat. Last week after the show, we were googling Hershey Park food, and we all got tired.
Well, last week we were googling lug nuts, so our search history is just all over the place.
Kat, did you hear back from your friend who lives near the lug nut?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has not seen the lug nut, so I'm trying to get her to go to see the lug nut.
If it's that big, I'm sure you can see it from literally hundreds of miles around. It has to be that
No, that's not how it works.
Disappointed.
Maybe by the time the parks are reopened, we'll have first-hand experience of what a big lug nut is like.
Yeah.
The most important thing for the reopening, what a lug nut looks like.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to see the lug nut for reopening because apparently this is coming later this summer or later this year, later this summer,
later this year.
I don't know. Will we be able to see it from the parachute drop? Just look for the lug nut.
Well, guess what? I'm rope dropping on the first day I get to go to the parks.
Well, you should.
I'm gonna get lug nut fan T-shirts printed.
Yeah.
You should rope drop tower terror for like the shock of your life. But we'll talk about that later. So, so we were promised a new TV ad, and it arrived.
By new, it means
Jeff, I hear you laughing, Jeff.
That have been put together have never been seen in this combination ever before.
It's there. I think it's made also on Natasha's laptop. I wonder how much they've paid for it because the footage is from 15 years ago. No, 10 years ago. I can't count.
2009.
2007.
Well,
no, 2009 because they've got the
Mickey's
Mickeys on them.
Yeah. It's from Mickey's Magical Party Time? Is that what it is?
Mickey's Magical Party Time. Sorry, that's a trigger for me. You can't say that and then not have that song stuck in my head. Sorry.
It will be stuck in my head all night.
It was kind of a cool process of Patrick joining our previous group, and TLP report where Patrick, you didn't know all the songs, and so over the months, Patrick would just come to me and be like, "Oh my God, I have discovered that one song from 2007," and then we just keep talking about it for like a whole week, and that's all he would listen for a whole week. Am I wrong?
No. Absolutely. If I haven't listened to a song nonstop for a week, I haven't even listened to it. So this is grand. Yeah.
So the footage for the ad is quite old, and it's weird because I mean, I guess they're just like press junkets, so they just write whatever they want. But we were promised some drone footage, and I'm pretty sure drone footage was not around in 2009. Oh, there's a puppy.
I would.
So it's probably like a crane footage or helicopter footage. I don't even know. But yeah, I thought it was going to be something new, and it's not. And a kid at the end. I don't know. I've heard different things. Is it from the Marvel commercial or is it from the 25th anniversary commercial?
I don't know, but the creepy is like, there's no magic without you.
Right. Why does it have to be whispered? Why?
Oh my God, that's like my university. Every time they do a commercial, it starts with a whisper. They're just like, and it's like, why? What's the point?
It's a French thing. Maybe it's like a French marketing thing.
It's a French commercial thing. They're like, we have to whisper.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like some creepy cast member is coming behind you at the Discoveryland Theater, sitting behind you and just being like, by the way, there's no magic without you. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck, dude?
You're sitting on It's a Small World. You just hear a whisper behind you.
Yeah.
What if they had the van, like the little the Goofy's van, and was whispering it from that van? That's not a good look.
I think they should put it in Tower of Terror right before the elevator drops. Everything stops, and then all you hear is like, "There's no magic without you," and then you get drop Persian stories.
Do you not whisper something already? I thought the little girl whispers "Don't scream" or something.
She does. Yeah. Oh my God, she does. Did they hire the little girl from Tower of Terror?
I think they say if you scream, it'll only get worse or something like that. It's hilarious. It's so good.
Yeah.
So if you don't come and bring your magic, it will only get worse for you.
It would be even scarier if it was there's no magic without you, and then you'd drop and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, but this song is sung by a guy during Pride Month with those words. It's quite good. Yeah. And that's all.
You mean Someday My Prince Will Come?
Yeah.
Yes, and I am surprised that not more people have picked up on this.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would be quite a big deal, but it's cool. I mean, it
the
shows
words,
that
the words of the song work really well with the advert. It's just maybe the pictures aren't quite right.
A lot of the words.
Yeah.
It's a bit of I think they didn't have much choice because obviously you can't put much of your experience on screen because there's not going to be parades, there's not going to be shows, and people are going to be wearing masks, including cast members. So if you don't want to do false advertising, you really can't put performers or cast members or even guests on the video. So
But that kid at the end, like it's like the whole thing. Remember that time?
But that kid
Magic
at the end is
Kingdom
not really in the park. He's like,
no. But like, remember that Magic Kingdom ad where like people, like kids run up to like princesses and all the like Americans were like, oh, I didn't pay $10,000 and for me not to be able to do this and blah blah blah. So it is a bit kind of like it's kind of heavily insinuating that, like, you know, and that's why something I was saying that like Jeff was saying is like the fact that the kid doesn't even have a mask. You're kind of like, well, there's gonna be Karens that are gonna be like, well, indeed, I didn't have it to say I had to have a mask, because they're gonna cling on to Anne to not have to wear a mask. So.
Yeah, I mean, and also if you've seen Hong Kong.
No, it's not. It's gonna say that in their bookings and everything. They're gonna pick up on it.
Yeah, but
it does say it in small print on the ad.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it does. And also, if you look at the official photos from Hong Kong's opening, there is actually text on the photo of what's her name? Sorry, Stephanie Young. We love her. There's a text on the official photo at the bottom saying, like, you know, everyone has to wear masks, basically. So she's just taking it off for the speech, basically. Yeah, they're trying to be quite consistent with that. So also the park was closed, so I think the crews could not really access the park to shoot something. I was really hoping for something kind of like Shanghai did. Remember this this time-lapse video of all the cast members making beds, cleaning the attractions, and you know, opening doors and whatever they were doing. I thought that would have been really cool, but I think...
Yeah, or like just gradually starting things up. Like, you know, a cast member getting ready and like dispatching the first big Thunder Mountain train.
That would be really like how they did sunrise over the castle or something. So it's opening rather than nighttime, because we're probably not going to be there at nighttime, are we? Closest
like how they did
we're not especially in summer. I mean, come on.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
you know, like how they did like that? Oh, sorry,
which one?
No, the Phantom Manor ad, how they like showed like the cast members like getting like ready and stuff, and like that would have been a cool thing.
Yeah, but I think that the crews from it's an outside company that made the video, which maybe that was the first mistake there. Like they have crews, that you know, they have broadcasts, and they do occasionally make some cool videos. So maybe that would have been a better option, because I'm sure they can go in the park. But anyway. It is what it is, and here we are with the ad. But it was a bit disappointing. It was kind of like the reopening social media video that was just like another remix of the characters opening their arms that we've seen like 16 times in basically every marketing things. So
I did, yeah. Do you know the way they were like, oh, thanks, I can't remember the message, but like all the people recreating Disneyland like magic at home. Disneyland Paris magic. I thought that ad was really cool, because I was like, oh yeah, like all the, like, because it made me like, because you know, sometimes when you kind of you have your like Disney friends and whatever, but like it had like a lot of people have been missing Disneyland Paris, so like it's nice to kind of feel like, oh yeah, like you're not alone, and like everyone's trying to get through it together as they can. And I thought that ad was really cool, but obviously super niche. So
yeah, I mean, I guess on TV, you know, like mainstream TV, it would not maybe be a great one, but I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. We're stuck with it. I think it's only going to run for a short period of time anyway. It's been running since Friday in France. I don't know. Has anyone seen it in UK or anywhere else?
I haven't seen it on television or anything. No, just fans posting it.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was supposed to start on Friday, but who knows? So the park is getting ready, and we saw, was it Saturday? I don't even know. Sunday? A few days ago, we saw the first social distancing markers on the grounds, and they were in front of the Gaumont Cinema. And we could see that they were all installed inside Disney Village as well. Woody approves or does not approve? I don't know.
He's joining the quiz as well, by the way.
I'm going to put him on the list, see how many he gets right. Probably more than
and they're basically the same. Are they the same as Disney World? They're the same as Disney Springs? right?
So they're the same as Shanghai, Disney World, and presumably later Disneyland as well.
And it's interesting because at Tokyo Disneyland they have kind of the same, but reverse. You have to stand on them.
I saw that.
So that's that.
And they're designed by Walt Disney Imagineering as well.
Yep.
So
just a little random cool fact.
Yeah, well, Walt Disney Imagineering just so that they can charge like 175% more than what they're actually worth.
Yeah, I mean, but at least it avoids situation that we've seen often in Paris of someone just getting a black and white printer and just doing some
cheap basic
paints, some like MS Paint design or something. At least they're professional. And
I think they look fine as well. Like they're not pretty or anything like that, but I think they're going to do the job pretty well.
Yeah, that'd be fine. The bus station, however, I think is run by the city, and they only have like a few little paintings on the floor, and it's going to be a mess. Don't take the bus, I would say.
If you can avoid it, do it.
Yeah. In the parks, they're also getting ready, and so the social distancing markers are going to be everywhere. And something we've seen tonight is that we can't really show you, but they are putting shield. I don't know, Jeff. How do we describe these things? It's like
they're like screens.
Yeah. So we're talking about Tower Terror, and so the queue when you get in, it goes left under the some kind of awning, and then you go into sort of like the rose garden, I guess, the back garden, which has a bunch of switchbacks.
Yes.
And so across this entire area, they have built basically a wall up to like about waist level with wood, and then on top of that is glass, and it goes through the entire switchbacks in the back, which makes for a lot of wood and a lot of glass. But I mean,
is it plastic or is it glass though? Because you can't really see.
It'll be
probably
plastic,
I think.
Plastic, like some kind of plexiglass, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks it looks terrible.
It looks terrible, but at the same time, like I'm really impressed that they've done it. Like it keeps the queue moving as a functioning switchback. Like it really goes to show that they are taking this extremely seriously.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I'm not complaining that they're doing that, but it's just you just got to be ready for it because it's a bit of a shock. And I'm assuming all the places might also get that. I'm thinking, for example, the Peter Pan queue or the Small World queue. Maybe part of Indiana Jones. Like, how many queues are going to have to get these things, right? I mean,
that's the thing. But like, as long and I've seen it with other places, and I'm just thinking more of it in Paris. As long as they don't like screw it up and like install it in a way that they're actually like going to be leaving damage afterwards, because you know how things happen when they get broken in Paris and then they just never get fixed again. So I'm cool that they're doing it, but as long as they haven't done it so that like they're screwing things up and it's going to be like damage it, and then they're just going to like spend way too long trying to repair it or just not repair it. Like, so
well, I think there will be damage just because there has to be in order to do this kind of work. It's not going to be great, but
I mean, how many people are going to start putting stickers on those things?
Oh God.
Please no. Please don't.
But yeah, so lots of changes inside the park, and we're gonna go check it out. So we'll know soon enough in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's gonna be quite different. But hey, at least the park is reopening. I think it's kind of interesting because everyone that I see in Paris on Instagram and everything seems to be sort of like living the life and going to bars and parties, mostly outside, but also inside, and have a lot of people close together. So I think the French are already quite not over it, but a bit back to normal. So it's going to be a difference. it's going to be quite different for them because I think this is going to be much higher than what they experience in their everyday life. But it's also going to be much different for everyone outside of France because we're here in the UK, we're still quite freaked out as soon as more than a few people clump together. So so it's going to be an interesting mix of people. Can't wait to see.
I think as long as Disney enforce it, and I think the stickers on the ground and things like that will do a really good job with that, then I think it's all going to go smoothly. I hope it's going to go smoothly.
And the low numbers as well is going to help, isn't it? For the first few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, and also there's only going to be one hotel to begin with, and I don't think a lot of people are actually going to come the first week. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, pass holders, sure, maybe, but I don't know how many families and sort of regular guests are going to rush to go on the first week or first couple of weeks. So
because I feel like most of those people, like, they're probably like, if it's not going to be the full thing, we're going to wait until later,
Right. Or they may want to wait to see what happens, if it's chaos or if it goes smoothly. So yeah.
And I think
let's all
Disney
say it's a mess
also,
so that no one comes. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Disney are planning for this to last quite a long time. I've heard from multiple people now, actually, who had Davy Crockett Ranch bookings in December, that they have all been offered upgrades.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of gives you an indication of the Davy Crockett timeline. It doesn't look like it's this side of Christmas.
But I feel like also this might be related to the fact that they're not hiring any temporary cast members, and so they may not be able to actually run that hotel until then. Because if they don't want to hire more people, they're not going to be able to open more hotels. And I think that's probably also why Sequoia is not opening, because I think they just don't want to have people running the hotel.
Apparently the CRO for Sequoia as well, I don't know if this is true or not, this is just what I've heard. Again, it's actually from multiple people now, that the CRO is advising that Sequoia will definitely not be before October 15th.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I guess around Lake Disney, the priority might be in New York. It gets more money and more buzz.
And they've announced a refurb of Sequoia Lodge, not so much inside the rooms, but the buildings themselves. And I'm wondering if they just knock it out, they just do it.
Yeah. Although they need to refurb the rooms too. Can they just throw that in? Just like... something else that's been happening. Sorry, yeah.
The beds in Sequoia Lodge, right? It's like getting a massage from 17 different springs at the same time. It's fun. Sorry,
you enjoyed it then.
I remember, Patrick, we stayed there together. Remember?
I know.
I can't remember what it was for.
But no, it was I like a lot of things about the hotel. Remember, but it's the bedding, the mattress is just not for me. But maybe just because I'm a larger person.
No, they're quite shit. I mean, Hyde Park still takes the cake for worst mattress in the entire resort area. But although Jeff, you were telling me that the Ibis budget also is basically like sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, I think I described it as sleeping on the slab of stone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'd rather sleep on the floor.
But I mean, they charge you like 60 a night, so Sorry,
if they're redoing Sequoia, can they put more plugs in? That's a request.
Or at least USB chargers or whatever.
Has anyone else come under the Sequoia trap? If they've got the lamp in the corner, and you unplug the lamp and you plug your stuff in, and it turns out that lamp's actually triggered by the lights in the room. So if you turn off the lights, then the lamp thing stops supplying electricity, so you are not charging your stuff overnight.
Yeah, of course.
It is the weirdest system.
And you wake up in the morning and you're like, why is nothing charged? I need to go to the park and I have 6% battery.
Yeah.
You wouldn't assume that the plug on the wall is activated by the light switch.
This is such weird, no? This is such a classic DLP thing where no one who's designed this room has ever slept in them, and so you just end up with those weird situation. At least Newport has more plugs, but also they're in some kind of drawer. There's a panel or something. And I know some of them you can't plug like larger chargers or whatever. I don't know. It's also like not really great design. But anyway, something else that's going on and that we can see is that the park is going through basically a brush and roll dance party. They are deploying as many people as they can find to repaint, fix, replace a ton of things, and I think they want to make it as nice as humanly possible for the next 2 weeks for the opening. So the park should be looking really good. They've replaced really random things like theming elements in Frontierland and roof elements and
the small world globe. Oh no, wait.
No. No, that one.
The world is more fractured than ever, so it makes sense.
I know, it's really like a perfect metaphor. So if you have an annual pass, you know that you've got some freebies.
But there's more.
Annual passes have been extended by 123 days plus 30. So here we are. What's everyone end date? I'm like mid-May next year now.
I think same, yeah.
November 30th, 2021.
I want to go into, I think it's like the 12th of March.
Okay.
So not that much.
It's kind of nice.
Mine's
It feels free, but really we just couldn't go to the park for 4 months, so really it's not that free. I mean, we do get 30-day free, so that's kind of nice. They didn't have to.
No, it's still kind of nice that we're not having to pay for a pass in my case, June next year. Like, it pushed it back a bit, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the reason for the 30 days is that they expect the parks to be a mess until at least mid-August, where, or for people to not want to go right away. And so that way they can manage the complaints better. They can just say, oh, well, you're not paying until mid-August, so, stop complaining. I guess that's what it is. But yeah, so everyone now has access to the annual pass portal, which is interesting.
I mean, there's not much really going on in there.
There is not much going on in there because, I mean, what are they going to do with it? There's no more illumination reservations. There's no more parade. There's no more annual pass parties.
I mean, I did book illuminations for the 1st of July last week, so, I'm good.
You enjoy that.
Yeah, they reopened the portal and I forgot to block out the July days. I mean, come on, man.
So you could... They opened the portal, and it's not that you could even take the July date. You could only take illuminations on the 1st of July. It just existed on the system for some reason.
How interesting.
And of course I booked it, because I wanted to see what happens.
Did you get your little email?
Yeah, so I got an email, but I didn't get an email telling me it was cancelled.
So you're just going to show up like, hey, here for my reservation.
Ruben is asking, isn't that the place where APs will make park reservations? I don't think so. Because there is another page that is linked in there, and it's a page that is a placeholder for now, and it looks
it's linked to from the AP portal as well.
Yeah, it's like the register tickets page, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, something interesting which I would not recommend anyone doing that, but if you cannot secure a reservation, and if you have an existing annual pass, they actually cannot deny you access to the park if there's capacity. So if you don't have a reservation, you can still come, but come early to make sure that the park is not at capacity. I mean, don't show up at 4 p.m. But so if you don't have a reservation, they cannot force you to have a reservation to come as long as there's capacity. So you should make a reservation. I sound like Boris Johnson. You should make a reservation, but if you cannot, you can still come if you come early.
That is the craziest thing.
But if you purchase an annual pass from now on, they have changed the terms and conditions, and in that case, you must make a reservation, because if you don't, you cannot come in. So
good luck pleasing that one.
Yeah, I know. Like, how are they even gonna know? Are they gonna look at the date? I don't know. It sounds so. It sounds like it's going to be an interesting one, but obviously, please make a reservation and don't forget to cancel it, because if you don't cancel it, they could potentially block you from making a reservation for 2 weeks.
But you can still go.
But you can still go. That's the beauty of French law, you know. In the US, they're like, no reservations, no coming in. This is private property, bro. But in France, they're like, oh, well, we have a contract and terms and conditions, and we cannot change the contract, you know, unilaterally.
So you're blocked from making a reservation, but you can still go to the park.
Yeah. But I mean, again, don't show up in the afternoon, because, you know, obviously other AP holders will be making reservations. But then that kind of begs...
When's the last time the park was at red? Because I've seen pictures online, but I don't know if it was 2014 or 2016, where the last 14. Time they had the park was at capacity, because it was like these they had like all these company like tickets were being used that day, and it was like the park was just absolutely. I'm not sure. I've seen pictures where it's like, park is full, please enjoy Walt Disney Studios, and people were like, no.
But I think it's more likely that they're going to get to capacity now, because capacity is so low.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's
going to be low, yeah. But if you come early, I mean, I guess there's a chance that you could still get in. So yeah,
they're going to crack out those red signs that they haven't used for years. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, but I think a lot of people don't realize that. So most people will probably not come if they don't have a reservation. But again, not everyone will know that you need a reservation. Anyway, there's going to be people to manage. That's for sure.
It is like the Boris Johnson of French law, isn't it? Like,
right,
make a reservation, but you don't have to make a reservation. But please do make a reservation. If you don't make a reservation, nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly. You can still come, but it's not. The only thing is the reservation guarantees your entrance, because they count basically all the day tickets, all the package tickets, all the other type of tickets that have a date, and all the AP holders who have booked. So if you add all this, technically you would already be close to capacity if you have a lot of AP holders booking on a day, which means that if there's only a small number of left, maybe like, let's say like you have 500 left, that means that you kind of have to fight off for those like 500, you know, 500 guests that I left to enter the park. And so you really need to come early in the morning, because those 500 are not going to last probably past like, you know, 11 a.m. So yeah, so make a reservation, so that way you'll be counted in the numbers and you won't have to worry about getting there early, which is never Patrick's case, because he shows up at 6 a.m. every time.
Yeah, pretty much. It's beat the traffic. I just like to beat the traffic, and I can just sit in the park. Like,
so they can't limit the number of days or the APs can enter. So they can't say 4 or 5 days a month or something.
No, I would say as a result they can't do that, because you can come every day if you come early and still get in, even without reservation.
But they're not going to limit the number of reservations you can make necessarily.
Yes, that's happening.
Are they going to limit the number of reservations?
Yes.
To how many?
I don't know, but there is something somewhere about limiting number of reservations.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Let's see. I hope it's like more than at least 3 days, because, you know, you need at least 1 day in each park or something. I don't know. Or if you come for a long weekend, you need at least 3 days. If you can only book like 2 days per week or something, that's going to suck for a lot of people.
No, I think it's more than that. But I think what they don't want to happen is AP holders just go on the calendar and go, well, I'm going to take one for every single day, just in case.
Right. But then there's the rule that if you don't show up, you would have to cancel every morning, because if you don't show up for a number of reservations, they're going to start blocking you from making reservations.
Yes.
Right. So I guess they're going to scan. Are they going to scan those QR codes with like something? Because the tickets, because, you know, the turnstiles, they have to scan your ticket. They cannot scan your ticket and also a second barcode. I don't think those things are from like 1992. I think they would overheat and explode if you try to do something else with them. They're like on their last leg.
They had like the really clever Disneyland Flex Pass, where, like, I don't know if you know much about the Flex Pass, but you have to book it online before you go, and if you turn up at the gate on a day that you haven't booked with your Flex Pass, your pass just doesn't work. Like, I know they can't do that for us, but that would be a really sensible system. But hey.
Well, maybe the new ticket gates, the new turnstiles.
Yeah, when are they gonna enroll? Like, have we spent like enough time standing at the other end with a tablet, like to be like, let's just put them in everything that we absolutely can, because like they're just so cool and like
amazing. The new turnstiles.
Yeah,
they are cool, aren't they? Yeah.
Like, and they're so quick, and it would like I'm so excited to just have everyone have one of those, because I feel like the queues are going to even be a lot quicker, because it's a lot easier to scan. Because as someone who goes super often, there's sometimes where I have it right up the outside of the like plasticky thing, right up at the glass, and I'm bopping it up and down, and I'm there for like I have to wait for a cast member to come over and help me, because just like so like I feel it would be cool if they started getting on that.
Yeah, agreed.
There's a really good question in the chat, by the way. Kern has said, could you reserve for day X, but Disneyland Park is already at capacity, so they send you to Walt Disney Studios? But from what I've heard, it's a combined capacity, and I think you'll be allowed to just wander between the two. I think.
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure.
It would make
it's definitely a combined capacity.
Jesus, we're gonna have to show up at opening.
No, we'll have reserved. We'll have reserved.
There is not much going on in Walt Disney Studios at the moment anyway, so I can't imagine that's going to be a problem.
Well, there is, selfies with the Frozen characters, which is sure to, like, swallow up a whole bunch of people. But given that you will have to use line Bertie, I'm sorry, that might deter a lot of people.
Oh, great. Remember that thing everyone hates? Just put it on again.
That great thing that it opens at like 9:45 and you go in at like 9:45 in 1 second and everything crashes, and then you go back at 9:46 and everything's booked.
Yeah.
What, the one that you could book? Well, you still can actually. I'm just online betting now. You can book a visit backstage if you want.
Yeah, right now they're using it for the braderie, which is like they're selling off some extra stock. Jeff had a really good question the other day. National
sales. Happens sometimes.
Yeah, like, I mean, you have like once a day you have a good question. No, I'm kidding. National sales in France are starting mid-July when the park reopens. Are all the
July
shops,
15th?
July 15th. Is that why they're reopening July 15th to like sell off the stock? So it could be interesting. I mean, maybe some of the shops will have some sales, because let's face it, like they have a whole ton of like spring, winter crap that no one bought. I mean, most of it no one wants to buy it, but they still have some.
Yeah, so the original sale date was the 24th of June, and they actually the government pushed it back to the 15th of July. Wonderful, like, to stop people going to the shops in June, but for us, great.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Very interesting. Could get like a nice little discount. But I don't know, because like, is that going to make too much mess in the shops with like people kind of rushing through or whatever? I don't know. Let's see.
So I think they're obligated to do it. No, I maybe someone can correct me, but
no, they don't.
I think that's the only reason why Paris, the resort's only ever done them, is because they have to do them, right?
No, I don't think so.
It's not the Disney way to sell off your stuff in the park.
No, it's like if they want to do sales, that's the only period of the year that they're allowed to do it, but they don't have to. If you don't want to do a sale, you don't have to do a sale. It's just, if they do have things to put on sale, like they can do like, occasional rebates and deals, like very like, spot things, and they do all year long. They have the magic offer and whatever. But if you want to do like a global sort of like stock sales, like a whole season that you want to put on sale, then you have to do it in January or in June, because that's just the law. Which
I guess get ready for Marvel merch.
Yeah, I mean Marvel and also a lot of Star Wars season. I mean,
I want
Marvel.
Legends of the Force T-shirt thing, because I never got it and I want it. So
yeah, because now it's like vintage, because it's never going to happen again. And also, Marvel season of superheroes is never going to happen again. So, and also, I'm sure, like, given how close we were to the start of the season, they must have boxes of seasonal T-shirts and pins and stuff.
Oh, great! We're going to be seeing that for the next 3 months or 3 years or something.
I mean, you'll probably be able to get a T-shirt for like €7 or something. They're going to sell them at cost because what are you going to do? Like, they're not going to have another season, so yeah. Construction started today, talking about Marvel things. And yeah, it's just good to see. Patrick was very excited. He's been waiting for that day for 3 months.
It's like, I'm like, if my timeline can be flooded with more construction, that would be amazing. It's just I'm so happy that it's happening. It's like great that it's great to see you.
You want to see that crane swinging.
And I'm sitting home I'm sitting home in front of the computer and I'm like cheering when it's great. No, seriously, I'm so happy.
But not that construction in the entrance. the planter construction.
Yeah, get rid of all the green.
Green fences.
The security fences. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I do think it's kind of it's a worthwhile idea, but I do also think that the whole the entrance plaza type place area before you actually get past security, I've always did feel it was a bit like, oh, okay, but then once you get in, you're like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, it's
so are they taking out that whole planter? That whole thing's going, or was it half of it?
The whole lot.
The whole thing. Wow. So you're not going to get that reveal as you go through and turn right to the Disneyland Hotel. You're going to already see that, probably.
Depends, I suppose, how it goes.
It feels as well like that's the last sort of bit of that entrance. Well, I don't know whether I call it the entrance plaza, the Esplanade, let's call it. I feel like that's the last kind of bit of its 1992 originality that's just been destructed there. Like, also, that Disneyland Paris sign that I know we don't like that much, but that's not really going to make any sense anymore because it's going to go like halfway across some of the tents.
Yeah.
And then just stop.
Oh, well.
Sorry, I was texting.
We got that because Ben was like hardcore.
It was urgent. It was an emergency.
Hardcore parallel play.
Yes.
But you're right, Jeff. You're right, Jeff. That's going to be a big gap in the middle there, isn't it, between those two old style signs?
So no.
Or the new and the old.
You got the 1992 sign, and then the new sign. I want to say 2015-ish, and then there's just going to be a gap in the middle.
Yeah. So they should remove all of them. Yeah, but I think the old sign is going because if you look at because on the on the blueprints, the line of tents basically is straight is on the same line as what the existing left tents are. So basically, you have the left tents. And then they keep going straight like through the planter, and then they keep going straight to the other side. And if you look at the old entrance, it's quite far down. You couldn't have a straight line from here to there. I mean, I don't know if someone has Google Maps somewhere, but you can't draw. Like basically, all the tents are going to be lined up. So the other entrance cannot be so far down because then you wouldn't have a straight line. You have like a longer line and then like basically a gap like lower down. So I think they're going to remove this whole thing.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need that many tents? Like, most of the day they're not even used.
We need that many tents for when Walt Disney Studios expands. And
it might actually help for the future, won't it?
And Marvel Land and all this. And also we need the new tents. We need all this space when finally they manage to put the hard construction in the budget one day, because it is there. The hard building that they want to do. It's there, but it's just not. There's no money. So
so like a permanent security building.
Yeah, like I mean, permanent might be like but yeah, something that is
that's not a tent.
Kind of like the entrance of like the real theme parks, like not just tents. So
a covering.
Yeah, so like some covering and probably also quite a few walls and stuff because winters are pretty harsh, and I think the security people kind of complain quite a lot. And there's a lot of like those heaters and all. I mean, it's all kind of like homemade, So hopefully one day that comes through, and also maybe with the Disney Village upgrade, I don't know. But yeah, it's sad to see that planter go, and I really hope that they do still have some kind of barrier there, so you don't see straight down to the DLH when you get off the RER station.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is concerning, but I'm sure. I mean, I feel like Imagineering maybe had a say, so I don't know. Let's see. What else happened? Did we cover everything?
Ambassadors.
Oh, yeah. Joanna's quitting.
Dramatic.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like a lot of cast members' dream jobs, and she was there for 2 years, and she's quitting after a year and a half. So it is what it is. She's gonna go to Scotland to get engaged. I think it was off, and now it's back on. So she's just following love, but I guess she couldn't wait until the end of the year. But the good news is that the program is extended with or without Joanna, so Gio is going to stay until the end of 2021.
And that's a global decision.
That's
probably
decision.
worth.
Yeah.
So even though Disneyland World, Hong Kong, etc., haven't announced it's happening, I think they just announced because eventually Joanna would post on her Instagram story boxes of her packing up, and that happened, and we would all find out.
Yeah, she's gone. So that also means Justin is going to stay in California. Just thought I would say.
This is a really good team of ambassadors this last couple of
He's
years. So I'm really happy.
Gio. Obviously, Gio is my number one, especially if he's listening.
No, but Ben, your favorite thing in the past year or year and a half has been Justin's series of Know Before You Go for Galaxy's Edge and Disneyland.
No, it's been the Disney Park Swishables.
I remember you would send me the links, and you were like, "Oh, look what you need to know before you go." I was like, "Yeah, sure you do, yeah."
They're a really good team, and I have, even though at the time I had no plans of visiting Galaxy's Edge yet, I watched every single one of those videos from beginning till the end because they were fun. I was like, now I know everything before I go, even though I'm not going.
It's a great ambassador set, so we're happy about that. I just don't think you should quit. That's kind of a thing.
I agree. I think she could have stayed till the end of the year and maybe decline the additional year, and I would have been fine with that because people have plans and you have your life, and if you commit to 2 years, if you don't want to do 3 years, you don't want to do 3 years. But I feel like when you become ambassador, you kind of commit to doing 2 full years, and I don't know, guests and fan and cast members, they rely on you. You're the face of the resort, you're one of the faces of the resort, and I feel like, I don't know, she could have made the effort for an extra 6 months, but
and it doesn't feel right that
still love her and still wish her all the best. She was really fun, and I think something that was really cool about Joanna is that she never really took herself too seriously, and she's always been kind of a goofy ambassador, and always just she's really funny. So
I love their outfits. All their outfits have been great.
Yes,
they're the dress-up ambassadors.
Yeah,
aren't they?
the Phantom Manor outfits.
The Phantom Manor ones were great.
Yeah.
But also, this is a really bad time to quit, when the resort's planning on reopening. It's probably the biggest thing that we've had in many years because this is just so unprecedented. It feels like this is completely the wrong time to do it.
And it's such a historical moment. I mean, even if I didn't love my job as an ambassador, which, could never happen, I feel like I would still want to be part of such a moment. I mean,
campus. Imagine being elected, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna miss out on the expansion, whatever, and then being turned around hey, by the way, let's do the opening of the new lands. You'd be like, oh my god, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, and Mabuko in the chat is asking if there's going to be an opening ceremony on the 15th, like in Shanghai and Hong Kong. What is that noise?
It's me. I'm on the tube using the new 4G.
Oh.
Is that Elliot?
Can you hear me?
I think that was Elliot.
Elliot's sitting on the underground.
Elliot, you have to be at home. We can't have you like on the go.
Well, you've got me on the go.
Okay, fine. Well, put yourself on mute when you're not speaking because we can hear you train. So, I think you did. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the answer to that is yes. Yes and no. There is going to be a speech, I think, but it's not going to be like a show, you know. So yeah. So it'll be cool if you see it, but I don't think it's going to be. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like April 12th. It's not like an anniversary celebration or something. So I don't even know if they'll have characters. But yeah, there's going to be some kind of opening remarks from Natasha. Yeah,
she's just going to get on the stage and go, "There's no magic without you."
She's just going to get like on the entire park speakers and just be, "There's no magic without you." But yeah, so I just want to manage people's expectation and not, you know, people going like super excited to see something on the 1520 reopens and just be like, oh well, Natasha said 3 words and now that's it, you know. So yeah, sorry, Patrick.
No, yeah, I love how it's like opening remarks and not like a speech. It's like, here are some notes I have on the opening. Kind words. And Rafalski.
They're gonna find a plug inside Emporium, and they're gonna just, you know, run a wire and plug her up on Main Street, and then she's gonna say her speech, and then they'll just wheel back out.
Perfect.
And I can't wait for you to see Anne Rafalski in the skin. It's gonna be so fun.
Anne?
No, you're just gonna have a fun time. Just hey.
Yeah, I mean, are you not coming?
I will see if I can get reservation. Well, I was thinking I'll think about getting a reservation. Yeah, I can just rock up. I just rock up at 6 a.m. and be like, hey.
Oh God!
But we're going to be watching from like a distance, right? There's going to be actual, real media, important people before us, surely.
Is there? I don't know. Maybe. Is there?
Like they'll have like, I don't know, TF1 stuff will probably be there.
I don't know. Maybe they'll just have broadcasts and film it, and then they'll just give it to everyone.
Yeah, maybe.
Just to be a bit like social distanced. I don't know. Let's see.
I feel. Well, that's what Hong Kong. That's what Hong Kong did.
The park
Hong Kong did that. Sorry.
Hong Kong did get one official video, right? I mean, there was also Chinese media who was there live.
They had like a whole row of stuff.
Yeah.
But that was the entire that was the media, wasn't it, on Main Street, where they had that little show.
Yeah.
And then I guess the guest then came in. It's probably going to be the same.
And stuff. But let's see. I mean, so far, Inside Ears has been closed, so we don't know if they're going to do something for media for us, you know, as in like, come see the reopening. But I don't think they will, because I feel like they just don't want to attract too many people for the first day, because there's a risk there, you know. I mean, not a risk to catch anything. I mean, a risk of like something going wrong or something not being perfect. So we'll see.
And I also think, you know, it's a reopening. It's not like it's kind of not one of those experiences that really you want people overly caring about. Like, you just want them just to be in the park and just enjoy the day, right? It's not.
But you want people to know that you're reopened.
Yeah,
they
so
even have a TV ad from 2005 for it.
Yeah, you want that, but it's not like a huge like, this is amazing, this has never happened before, wow, yay,
yeah, no,
definitely.
definitely.
Like,
I mean,
it's a very different sort of atmosphere, isn't it?
And they have nothing new to sell, so, you know, it's just going to be like, hello, welcome, thank you for being patient, and thank you to the cast members, and thank you, and enjoy the day, right? I mean, that's how I see it.
And there's no magic without you.
And there's no magic without you. Mark said Natasha Rofsky, the park whisperer. Jeff wanted to know if Halloween and Christmas events will be impacted, shows and decorations and stuff. So there's been additions, and so through those, Disneyland Paris kind of has confirmed that there will be some Halloween offering, and I think Halloween is starting on September 26th, or at least that was the plan before everything closed down. So if that's still the case, Halloween will start end of September. Decorations, yes, of course. I mean, I think the park will be decked out for Halloween and decked out for Christmas. I don't see that changing at all. When it comes to shows, that is kind of anyone's guess, right?
It's surely going to depend on how far we are on the pandemic. Like,
exactly.
There's a chance that we're all fine, but
yeah, but I mean, I think it's also going to depend. I mean, I think France is already kind of okay, and the question would be, where is like all of Europe going to be, you know, in September, and what can they do, and also, if you look at Shanghai, they started running the parade after just a few days after they said they weren't going to run the parade. So
yeah, that was a bit of a shit show, though.
So by September, you know, will they consider that it's safe to run a parade, or will they do some kind of like, you know, character happening at different times? I don't know if they'll do the whole Mickey's Halloween celebration. So yeah, it'll be interesting, because otherwise, you know, I mean, the meet and greets, they could still happen like social distance like they do now for some of the other characters.
And at the castle stage, that'd almost be better.
Yeah. But there was... Did we not see like auditions for Ursula? No. Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know. I think so. I think they were looking for Ursula. You know, singers. So that means that the show might happen. So let's see. Will they sell Disney theme face mask? I don't know. Maybe. Good question.
I hope so. It'd be good.
But can Disneyland Paris get their shit together in time for this? I feel like
probably not.
In the US, they were like on the ball, but
at Disney World, yeah.
Disney World did, right? Like right away.
Yeah, but I think like most of them sold out like real quick.
You'd like to think that the US sent some to Paris and went, well, you know, you want to force people to wear them, but you have to force people to wear them. Just sell them as well. You might as well. Like, you would hope that that's a decision that's been made.
Well, that's one of the questions as well, is like, for guests who show up but don't have a mask, are they going to be given some free disposable ones? Like, do they have all these plans? Because they should, because guests are going to be unhappy if they can come in, because they have to wear a mask. And also they have to get ready for people not wanting to wear a mask, which, you know, is not really a thing in Europe, but it is in the US. But I'm sure some people in Europe don't want to.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, good luck to the cast for dealing with all this. But yeah, it's going to be interesting reopening. It's exciting. It's kind of something I never thought that we'd live through, but here we are. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there'll be more news. Obviously, the reservation system is supposed to open in July, which means Wednesday is July 1st. So, you know, any second. Yeah, we'll let you know if it's open. I guess Disneyland Paris will let you know, but usually we'll let you know before.
That would make sense, though, because that would be 2 weeks before opening. That would be a good time to open it.
That would be a good timing, yeah. So, let's see what happens. And there's going to be probably more news again, you know, later this week. And yeah, Ruben said, Miriam said the French, especially in Paris, completely stopped wearing masks. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be changing in the park.
It is a concern, but you know, you have to wear your mask everywhere in the park. So yeah.
On property, I think, right? As soon as you get through security, I think you have to have your mask on.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, if you take the RER or the train or something, you also have to wear in public transport in Paris, I think. So, yeah. What I would recommend is try to find a really good mask that is comfortable. And I know it's really tempting to get like some cute Epcot design or whatever, but try it.
Oh, I did that.
Yeah, but try it. Try it, use it, wear it for several hours, like go for a walk or something, because
on a hot day, on a hot day, that'll test it.
I have purchased the Adidas ones, which not only look kind of cool because they're like Adidas blue, you know, that electric blue, but also they're made of like this sort of I don't know how to describe it, like neoprene / lycra mix or whatever. Like they make their gym shorts and tops and whatever with them. And they're super comfortable, and you can breathe through them, and it really feels like you're almost not wearing masks. So I would very much recommend going for function before form for these, because and also some of them are like actually just the plain surgical ones. I feel like they're much lighter than the cotton ones.
No,
so,
I went to Tesco and bought a whole bunch of those.
Because for me, these have been working better so far. Like the disposable surgical ones. I have some cloth ones that are really cute, but I don't know. Like when I talk, they fall off my nose, and they're quite thick, and they become kind of like humid in there, and it's just like So if you think about an entire day at the park, make sure that you have a good mask, and make sure you bring enough one per day. Or even
multiple ones, isn't it?
And make sure you also grab, if you're using reusable ones, grab like a Ziploc bag or something, so that when you're eating or drinking, you can just slip it in, have your food, drink, and then take it back out again, put it back on.
So definitely a task for you in the next 2 weeks if you're going to visit. Get a good set of masks and that you're comfortable with, and try them at home, or maybe not in your home, but try them going around town back home before going. The Adidas ones are really cool. So they're on the website. Some of them are sold out. Make sure you check the size, because the small ones are really small, and I think they're definitely made for women, and the medium large are more made for like men's size face.
Whoa, sweeping statements here.
No, because I made the mistake of buying the small ones, and I don't have a huge head, and they don't really fit on me, and I had to buy like the bigger one. And obviously you can't return these because they fit on your face. So if someone has a small face and wants a mask, drop me a message. I can give it to you. So this is what we have to look forward to. It'll definitely be an interesting couple weeks. Is there anything else that we forgot that happened last week? No, we covered everything. Ambassador, construction, mask, social distancing, the crappy ad. Yeah, I think we're good, right? Jeff, you're like the news. No,
we're not touching Splash Mountain, are we? No.
We could talk about that after the quiz, maybe in like the discussion. I think there is a question about it, so maybe we can talk about it.
I think that's it for Paris. Other than all the usual AP benefits apply. You can go to the AP entrance and stuff like that. All that stuff's still happening.
Is the AP office going to be open, you think?
Yes. So that's open. You can buy a temporary pass. It's kind of everything's sort of normal if you've got an annual pass.
Yeah.
So that's good. I had a question today. Somebody asking me about Inventions. That's closed because of the Disneyland Hotel closed. So bear that in mind. You can't just go in for a quick drink in Cafe Fantasia.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to have the hotel closed. But I guess we need to get used to it, because if they do go through with a Princess refurbishment, we're going to have to deal with it for like 2 years or something.
Oh, there is something we didn't mention. The capital injection.
Oh yeah, we got money. Yeah, I mean we got money, but I feel like it's more of like moving around funds within the Walt Disney Company. So we got allocated.
It's more to keep the loss of revenue.
Yeah, we got allocated 155 million. Is that it? Over 5 years?
No, so I think it's 350 million.
350
million.
150. Yeah, well, a lump sum this year, isn't it? 155.
Yeah.
And the rest can be taken in 3 years, or can be withdrawn incrementally over 3 years.
That is a lot of Chinese earns. But it's good. I mean, the resort needs cash to function, and obviously no cash has been coming in the coffers for 3 months. So I guess that's to offset, all those things they had to pay for the past 3 months, and all the things that they need to pay for the next 2 months, like the Tower of Terror shields.
And removing them.
But good. I mean, it shows. Obviously, the reasons and where the money's coming from and everything is kind of obscure, and I'm sure we don't have the full picture, but it shows that having the Walt Disney Company behind us is a much faster, effective way to remedy to those, cash issues. Because before, when it was quoted on the stock markets, and like they had like relationships with like a dozen banks that were financing the resorts and the investors and everything. Getting something like this voted would have taken a year and a half, and now we're able to get like, I mean, 350 million. That's not nothing. That's like an attraction and a half. So it's good that they can
attraction and a half that we're not getting.
That we're not getting.
Like that's the sad thing.
But you know,
so like, I think that's a great point.
If they really wanted it, they really could. But they're like, "Meh, this is too COVID relief," which I know we need. But like, it's even more enraging that they could just literally tomorrow say, "Here's a new attraction."
Yeah, I mean, you know, it also goes to. You can also apply that to like all the governments around the world who are, you know, who are like taxing us all year, but all of a sudden they were able to unlock like billions and billions. I'm like, where did these come from? You know, so it's emergency, you know. So
yeah, no, I'm only joking.
But yeah, but it's good. It's good that, you know, we have they're backing us up, and even though they probably don't really have much of a choice, but it's happening, so that's good. And something else. That was mentioned in like the D23 interview of, is it Bob Weiss? Yes.
Yes.
He said that Avengers Campus, and he mentioned Paris first. I had to sit down, and he said that Avengers Campus will, you know, keep going on as planned and open as planned. Maybe of course a little bit later, but construction started today, and yeah, it's quite advanced. So Avengers Campus in California and in Paris are going on as planned, so that is not slowed down or stopped, and hopefully we'll have a brand new land next summer. Exciting times.
Woo.
Woo. All right, so let's take a first musical break, and then we'll come back with the quiz. Today's theme is remixes, so get ready to dance. The first one, so a couple of those are from this really cool album that is called crap, I forgot. Jeff, what is it called?
Deconstruction.
Deconstructed.
Yes, that's it.
Deconstructed. And it's an album that came out.
If you watched, if you're a D23 Gold member, by the way, and you watched the archives video over the weekend, the cover art of the really cool, like Mickey, I don't know what to call them, speakers or the block things.
Oh yeah.
They're actually in the archives. They exist as a real thing.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was like a 3D thing.
I missed the link for that. I knew it.
Yeah, no, so they actually exist.
So it's an album of like various remixes by famous, you know, dance artists, I guess, of Disney songs, theme park songs, you know, anyway. And one of them that I really like is called Hey Pluto, and it's a mix with a bunch of cute little quotes from, you know, classic Mickey cartoons. And it's a remix by Stonebridge, who you might know if you know dance music. And it's really fun. So it's going to be our first song, and then we'll be back in a few minutes with the Disney quiz and Patrick, the quiz master. See you in a bit.
I promise.
welcome back to the GLP Report podcast. Are you guys talking? No, you're not. Good.
No, we were dancing.
No.
We had it on.
Good. Time for the quiz, Patrick. Oh, sorry.
You know what that music means.
Well, that music that you can hear.
Still never heard the music.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, is there a theme today, Patrick, to the quiz?
No, oh God, no. The theme is 10 questions about Disney parks, and that's kind of really I was sitting earlier on because Ben sent me a message. I just had a nap because I had a day at work and I was just so tired, and I came home and I had a nap, and then Ben was, "There's a quiz tonight," and I was like, "What more is there left to know about Disney park?" And I was like, right. So, are we ready? Are we doing this thing? Let's do it.
So, as usual, you don't have to say your name. You just scream the answer.
Oh my! I'm gonna get you a T-shirt with the rules of the freaking quiz on it, and you have to wear park. Anyway, okay, right. Let's do it. So, question number 1: what is the name of the dinosaur who resides in Echo Lake at Disney Hollywood Studios?
Ben.
Berta?
Birdie?
No.
Birdie.
No.
No?
No.
Am I far off?
No.
Oh.
David. Is it Gertie?
It is.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
It's G.
He put him on the. Which French actress presented Studio Tram Tour Behind the Magic with Jeremy Irons in Walt Disney Studios Park?
Oh my gosh, I know her first name, but not her last name.
Oh god. Because we don't have anyone French on the show.
Oh yeah, we Ben?
Oh.
Am I allowed to just give her first name? Does that work?
Yeah, I'll give it to you if you give her first name.
Do you get half a point?
Alright, no. I was just gonna give it a full point.
What's the name?
It's Irene, isn't it?
Yeah, Irene Jacob. There you go.
That well-known actress.
I'm just out of seeing question number 4, and I'm excited about it. So get excited. Here's question number 3. Which Pixar character could frequently be seen by diners in a Restaurant des Stars in the mid-noughties?
Darren.
Darren.
It's Remy.
It is, yeah.
The cutest little thing as well.
And his little tray and his trolley.
I missed that.
That was quite good.
Yeah.
That was cute.
I ate
Here's
Restaurant des Stars just to see Remy.
question number 4. Quite proud of myself at this one. What was the name of the cocktail served during Marvel Season of Heroes inspired by the Incredible Hulk?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
No idea.
How did you go and dig that one out?
No, I remember the receipt had a really funny thing on it. And
I didn't drink this one.
You must have Steph.
I have a Captain Marvel one, but not the Hulk one. It
yeah.
looks green. Too green for me.
Anyone?
No.
Does anyone have it in the chat? I don't have the chat open, so.
No one's
No.
answered yet, anyway.
Oh, it's the green smash cocktail.
Oh.
And when you got the receipt, it was green smash cock.
It had green in it. Well,
Do you remember the receipt was green smash cock? I was like, oh yeah. That's why I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember I got it and I sent it to Ben and I was like, look what I just got, and he was like, oh good God. He was like, I was like, no, it's a drink. So yeah. Anyway, how many lands did Magic Kingdom contain on its opening day?
Steph.
Steph?
3.
Nope.
Okay.
Cat. 5.
Nope.
Jeff?
Hang on, let me count again. Hang on. 1. No. It's not 5 cats, Harry.
Darn.
Jeff, did you say Jeff?
I did say Jeff.
Sorry.
4?
No.
David.
David.
6.
It is, yeah.
We'd have got there through elimination, right?
Yeah. There's so many numbers that you can say. Main Street USA, Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, and Liberty Square. What?
Oh, I didn't count Main Street. Damn it.
What is the name? I think I might have asked this question before, but why not? What is the name of the Frozen themed roller coaster coming to Hong Kong Disneyland? And I want the full title. I want the full title. Yes, please, Ellie.
Wandering Oaken Sliding Sleigh.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Next. Yeah. Which retired Disneyland Paris show featured characters from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Handy Manny, and Winnie the Pooh and Friends? And I want the full name.
Disney Junior live on stage.
Yeah, Darren, which one that one? Literally, I was like, what will Darren get? I was like,
sorry, Darren.
So bad, no. Well done, Elliot.
I remember it when it was Playhouse Disney when I was a child.
How many animals can be seen on the Disney's Animal Kingdom logo?
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Steph.
5.
Correct.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Steph.
Yeah.
I'll give you an extra point if you can name them.
A giraffe.
No.
A lion.
No, there wasn't a giraffe, but well done.
I know the dragon's on there.
Yeah, it's the
lion still on there.
Lion, an elephant, a dragon, a dinosaur, and a gazelle type thing.
I knew there was a dinosaur in there.
Anyway, what is the name? So, and going into the last 2 questions, it's still quite close. Elliot and David are on 2. Jeff, Darren, and Steph are on 1. Ben and Kat yet to score. What is so last 2 questions. What is the name of the snack location directly beside the Fantasyland Theatre where guests typically purchase snacks for Mickey and the Magical Map in Disneyland Resort?
The big turkey leg
Jeff?
one.
Yes, Jeff.
Is it the Troubadour something? I don't know.
Yes, it is, but I would like to know what the something is, please.
I don't know.
Anyone?
Nope.
Okay, I'll give it to Jeff. Troubadour Tavern. And the last question, which considering the previous question worked so well, I made a follow-up question. In which other Disney park can a snack location with Troubadour in the title be found?
Elliot?
Just
gonna guess Hong Kong Disneyland.
It's not Hong Kong Disneyland.
Steph. A recycled question from a Hong Kong Disneyland episode.
Steph.
Walt Disney World?
No.
David.
Is
it Paris?
It is not.
Cat.
There's only so many resorts, isn't it?
Shanghai.
It is Shanghai.
Yeah.
Eventually someone was going to land on it.
The only one we didn't say was Tokyo.
Kat. Can you hear me, Kat?
Yes.
I'll give you an extra point if you can tell me the name of it.
No.
Okay. Pure luck.
It's Troubadour Treats.
Ah.
And they sell turkey legs there too, and they're gross. So the finals.
Oh my god.
We have a triple joint winners today. David, Jeff, and Elliot on 2 points.
Yay! 3 weeks in a row. Look at me, 3 weeks in a row.
Elliot, turn off your microphone though, because train's noisy.
Love you really.
So that's the quiz.
Some of us are key workers these days.
So am I, honey, but I got home at 5 o'clock. So, So yeah, that was the quiz.
All right.
Yeah,
really good.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right.
That was fun.
Yes.
Fun.
Yeah, thank you.
What are we? We should get a theme for the next one.
Oh, Ben, don't make it freaking hard because you're going to tell me 10 minutes before it starts. I'm going to be in a nap, and then you're going to be like, make 10 questions, but make them all about Mickey Mouse. I'm like,
Wait.
oh, good lord.
I have an idea for a theme. You could do openings and closings. Ooh.
Of what, though?
What does that mean?
No, that sounds
Like just dates of when things opened and when
every
things closed.
opening is a closing.
and reopenings as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool because there's like some things that have reopened, like Captain EO and stuff like that. There's some kind of cool stuff you could do there.
Yeah, like can we make something easy for me to actually research?
No.
Because then if I'm like, what date did this open? And you're like, is it the press opening or is it the real opening? I'm like, the one that's on Wikipedia. I'm sorry.
Well, Ash says she can make the quiz if you want to play next week or next.
Oh my
whenever.
gosh.
Oh, that could be fun.
Oh no, because show how much of a fraud I am.
Yeah.
No, we have to.
I like it.
God.
Ash just got hired.
Agreed. Yes.
Ash, okay, but you have to tell me the answers beforehand so I don't look like a fucking
That's
knob.
definitely not how it works.
Yeah. Well, if Ash gets to make the rules, I get to add little things on as well. So.
Then don't forget to say your name.
Oh my God! I'm never going to say my name just to be like, and then I'm going to realize how much of a hard rule that is to follow.
All right, so we have lots of questions, but we're gonna play another song that is also a remix, and this one was suggested by Jeff. It is the Tower of Terror 10th anniversary remix.
I don't know. I think it was played at the press event, but who knows? I wasn't there.
Oh, the opening?
Yeah, because I don't know if you went to the Tower of Terror 10th anniversary AP party. They played the animation thing, which was amazing. And then, it was like, you've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. And I think that's when everyone went into the ride on the press event.
Oh, I see. Was this... Right. Was this the party where a cast member was playing from his phone through the PA system?
No, that was Marvel.
No, that was
Marvel.
Marvel.
That was the Marvel night, yeah. Because there was no music at all.
The Tower of Terror night was amazing. They had actors, and you got on the ride with actors.
Oh yeah,
and
the omnibus
they were
from
creepy, and it was so good.
Yeah, I got on this one with this old man who was he was a bit disorientated and didn't know what was happening, and I was like, "Is this man okay?" It was like
I became friends with him by the end of the night.
Yeah, that looked like a really fun night.
Yeah.
So let's play this. I will admit that I have not listened to it in a long time, so I forgot what it sounds like. But you guys can't hear it either, so all listeners can hear it. So let's play that, and then when we're back, we'll talk. We'll discuss questions and topics. All right. See you in a bit.
You've just entered into the Twilight Zone.
welcome back to the DIP Report podcast. That's kind of a cool remix. I forgot that existed. It's a lot of the same.
It's great.
It's just a lot of like the loop just repeats a lot, but yeah.
We remembered something we didn't cover, by the way.
What is it?
AP Friends tickets.
Oh God, yeah, that one. So, oh God. Well, listen.
If we talk, we don't have enough time to do any questions because it's so complicated.
No, but here's the thing. What is the problem with guests of Disneyland Paris is that if there is some kind of system that can be rigged, they will rig it. And, you know, why are Friends tickets only available at the entrance of the parks? Why are they not available online? I mean, normally. Because people resell them on eBay. Just like, you know, Air France employees resell their Air France benefits and they had to cut them. So even in the context of this reopening, if you just make them available to all the AP holders, people are going to go on whatever websites and resell their tickets that they're going to buy for 35 euros. They're going to sell them for 50 euros, which is still a better deal if you don't have an annual pass or know anyone. And they're going to make some money with their 20 tickets, and they're just going to buy the dates that people want and just like email it to them, and then there you go, you've got some free money. So now you have to call the call center and tell them the date, and then it's going to come a week later. It makes it much harder because then it's a physical ticket. You have to like receive it at your house and then mail it to the person who wants to buy it. Can you imagine?
It's going to add €5 on as well because that's what postage costs.
Actually, no. Right, they're going to be shipped for free. They're going to be shipped for free.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, because that was.
I get your idea, but before you had to be at the park entrance and scan your pass to get the ticket. So surely this actually enables people to then do that eBay thing because they can agree with their buyers what date they want, order it 2 weeks in advance, and then just send it on the next day, first class.
It's more complicated though. And what I'm saying
because
is
before, before they were only valid on.
Yeah, but I mean, if you first you have to call the CRO, which is going to take you 2 hours, and then you have to buy them for a specific date. So that means that the person is willing to already know the date they want to go and give you the money and arrange all this stuff, and then you probably have to wait 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but like before it was only possible to do it on the day, like when you were there. But now you could actually, you don't have to. The AP holder doesn't even have to be at the resort, so it actually makes selling them possible. So I don't know, like if someone wants to go to that length.
Tickets, so I mean, you need to like just ship them. It's just like more. It puts more barriers. What I'm saying is that they don't want to put them online because that is just really easy. Like everyone will do it, you know.
And then, of course, the privilege ticket is a dated ticket, so you don't have to enter the reservation system. However, the AP holder still does.
Right. But I mean, as discussed,
so you could have a situation
you may
where
not have to.
Yeah, but you might.
In theory,
the park might reach capacity and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got this weird situation where your guest might have park access, but you don't.
Yeah. I mean.
Welcome to Disneyland Paris.
True, but I mean, I'm sure if you show up at the park, and I don't know, I feel like, you know, in their capacity measurements, there's always going to be some leeway. There's going to be several hundreds difference in the numbers, just so that they can accommodate guests who complain or who don't, or for those situations. No, I don't know. Maybe not because it's Paris, but I feel like Disney should have thought about that. Maybe no. Okay. But yeah, so you can still get Friends tickets, but you have to really plan in advance and know like when you're visiting and stuff. Like for example, if I want to bring a friend from London and we're gonna go together in September, then I'll just call and buy a ticket, have it shipped to me, and I'll just bring it with me when we go in September, you know, for him, and he'll just like pay me back. So, yeah.
But you have to name your date now.
You
so
do.
Like how early you can be able to do it before? Like, is it going to be like a month, 2 months?
Of course, if it rains, then sorry, you just paid out €39 and you're not getting that back.
Right, but I mean, if you come from London, you're going to go anyway.
Of course, yeah, but it's going to be more for locals, right? That's people who probably use them more than we do.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely use mine. Only when I have, like, you know, non-Disney friends who decide they want to come with me.
I don't know if I ever have used one actually.
Oh wow!
I've used them quite a bit.
Every year, I kind of get down. I kind of start getting into like saving mode because like 3 months before my pass is up, I'm like, and stop because I've got like 9 left. That's the thing about this whole like adding on our passes, whatever. I have like 10 privilege tickets left, and I was like, great, that's till October. But now it's till like March, so I have to make them even last even longer now.
That is true, actually. But you couldn't use any during 3 months, so.
Yeah, no, that's true. But like, I was in my head, I was like, because my friends want to go, and they like, there's a lot of friends that want to go, so it's like I know that's going to be like 5 in one go, so that leaves me basically with 4, because we're going to go at the end of the summer, so it's like 5 in one go, and then that means I've got 4 left until like March. Great.
Yeah.
Usually it can be a pain because you have to stand in the ticketing queue to get them.
Yeah.
So that's what sometimes puts people off. But now I guess it's just flipped it, so creates more dilemmas, but for the AP holder this time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect many people will actually use them once they find out how to get them and stuff. But yeah. Also, I don't know. I get that they don't want to have queues at the entrance of the parks, but for those like very limited occasions like these, could they not have like one ticketing window with like social distancing in the queues? I don't know.
Well, Disney Studios is perfect for a socially distanced queue. That's a good ticketing area.
Yeah.
And it doesn't block the turnstiles like Disneyland Park does.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to use that queuing system for park entry, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the middle, they have all those barriers, like under the main awning in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to use the switchbacks that are normally meant for ticketing. Maybe. I don't know. Interesting question. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's why ticketing is closed. Because they're using those queues to just like shuffle people through the entrance.
Maybe. We'll find out next week. No, not next week. Week after. Something like that.
Week after?
Do you think for extra magic, will they try and get more spaces open so that even if there's not like all the attractions open, guests will have places to like space out? Because like, you know, the way normally it's like a little bit of Frontierland, tomorrow Discoveryland, and Fantasyland, and I know that only leaves kind of Adventureland, but like, do you not think they'll try and maybe, because like that's what I'm thinking, like say, you know, in the morning if there's like a lot of people and they're trying to get them in, and then they get them in and they kind of have to make sure that they've somewhere to go, so they're not going to really stop them on Main Street, so they're going to try and like have them flooded in. I don't know, it just feels like if everyone's kind of crowded around outside outside or in like Main Street, that's going to be a bit of a headache, and you probably want to get people as dispersed as quickly as you possibly could now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. There was a question that, Jeff, I think you have the answer. Hilda wanted to know what's going on with carer tickets.
Right. Okay. So, the person who needs a carer has to reserve their place through the reservation system as normal. However, your carer does not. So you can turn up on the day with your carer and you go, well, I've got my reservation. We're going to go to, I think they're using guest relations still. They're using a ticketing window for the carer tickets, and they're just distributed as normal. And then in the park, priority queues, everything is just as normal.
Right.
So just the person with a disability is reserving that place.
Okay. Good. Sorry, I missed the question now because I was looking at, you know, that tweet that came out. So, sorry, what are my questions? Right, so we have questions from Eduardo. Hi, Eduardo.
Hi,
Eduardo.
Yay,
This is
Eduardo.
a good one, actually, that we've discussed between us. Is, do you think DLP needs closer competition like Disney World has Universal? Like, is there not enough big theme park competition
Yes.
for DLP that is basically, you know, holding them back from really investing and really creating something top notch?
100%. You know, their number one phrase is, we are Europe's number one tourist destination. So in their eyes, they've done it. You know, where else is there to go?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's Europa Park, there's Efteling, and those places.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're not really competition for DLP.
Because I think those places are great principles for their countries, but they don't really attract international. They would have international visitation, but not on the scale that DLP has.
Yeah, and I mean, Portaventura. We talked about this afternoon. It's funny because Portaventura used to be Universal.
Yes, well, like 60% owned or something.
And it got out. Why?
Yeah.
Univer.
They had they had loads of debt. I think like the parent company needed to sell them, like 20 years, 15 years ago or something.
Oh right, because
they still have pretty decent relations with Comcast.
Right. Yeah, but the Pecker's still there and stuff. Like they still license quite a lot of things from Universal, I think.
But imagine if like Portaventura had Harry Potter and Jurassic Park and all those things. That would have been, I feel like, a good contender for DLP. And also they have
hot location as well.
Yeah, and they have much nicer weather. I mean, you could go there from like and have like a summer weather between like I don't know, like March, April until like September, October. Whether in Paris it's already quite getting quite rainy.
Problem is you can't really see Paris being like an Orlando theme park center of Europe kind of thing. I couldn't.
I think the only feasible competition would be if the London resort is a quality scale and if it ever happens.
Yeah.
Because the UK is such a big market for DLP that if there's any getting in the even if they lost 1 or 2%, it'd be catastrophic to DLP's balance sheet. Because the UK guests are the ones who come for the 4 days. They used to eat in the restaurants. They stay in the Disneyland Hotel. So they drive such big revenue. So if they then have something closer to home, they don't even have to get the Eurostar, and they're getting a similar level of quality themed experience, that could have a bad effect on DLP.
I do think that like I don't know, for like especially if you get young kids, like going to DLP if you're in the UK is just like a thing everyone does. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's like, our kids are 3 and 4. Let's take them to Disneyland Paris. It's kind of like a default thing for a lot of families. I don't think there's much that anyone else could do to change that.
Yeah, it depends. I think the London resort has probably the best chance. I don't think it would change it, but I think it might. You might go to the London resort every year, or I don't know, something like that. I think it will definitely have more of a pull.
I feel like the London resort will probably do more damage. Like as from what I've seen, I feel like the London resort will probably do more damage to if it will do any damage to like Alton Towers or Thorpe Park or stuff like that, as like a kind of like let's go for the day type thing. I'm not sure from what I've seen or the concepts or whatever. I'm not sure it has at the minute. It has. I don't know if it has enough to draw people away from Disneyland Paris, but
Yeah,
maybe.
But I think it has the potential with the backing of Paramount. Like it could.
Didn't
yeah, so they had problems, but Paramount's back, and so is the BBC and ITV. I think. I don't know.
That's
I think though as well as like and like we were saying like that might draw like a UK crowd, but like it's the whole problem with all these like Europa Park and Efteling and all they're kind of quite popular in their localities, but not as the way like Disney and Paris is very kind of universal. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure like ITV properties or BBC properties are going to be a draw to people who live in, I don't know, the Netherlands, for example.
Well, I mean, they could be because things like Doctor Who are pretty big worldwide, and I think that's where it does have draws. I don't think it has the same level of competition. I don't think it's even close. Yeah. But I think there is something there that is probably going to elevate it above maybe even Efteling and Europa Park. I think there will be more of a pull than those. I think it will always be a second place, but I think it could be a second place.
I think the only thing that would make DLP nervous would be if Universal bought Portaventura back and built Harry Potter there.
Yes.
That's the only thing that I think Disney would get a bit nervous if that happened.
even if they built like in the WB tour, and I've never done it, and I've just heard people that have done it. But if that even became a thing where they started just try, I don't know if there's space, but like in a kind of like hypothetical situation, if they started throwing rides in there and like lands in there, like that would be like a killer track.
They're not allowed to, unfortunately. They would really want to.
I mean, like in a hypothetical situation, if there was somewhere that had something like that, like a Harry Potter experience, which is like plus plus plus, would be like a killer. Like that would, because that's massively popular.
Yeah, I agree.
I think people underestimate just how popular Harry Potter is sometimes. Like it's huge.
Well, it transform Universal from being like a nice side day to a Disney World trip to being like a contender for people's holidays.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do think that Europe should eventually somehow have a Harry Potter theme park, or at least land or something. I think that's something that somewhere in Europe really does need to look at, because
it'd be so interesting.
It's based in Europe, and it makes sense to have it.
You could have like a Ministry of Magic, like for the country that you're visiting. Like if it's in Spain, have the Spanish Ministry of Magic, or if you're in, I don't know, France, have the French Ministry of Magic. It would be like a really cool. Yeah, I don't even really like. I'm not. It's not that I don't like Harry Potter, but I realized, when you see everyone else who's super into it, I realized how not super into it I was, because everyone else was like way into it. But like it'd be like a cool thing to like see.
Yeah, and the lands are really good, and I think that the closest that Universal has come to a Disney style land, and it is very impressive. And I think that European guests would eat it up. So if somewhere does build it, that would get Disney very worried, I think.
Does Universal have the worldwide rights to it, or just the stateside?
Yeah,
or...
they do.
It's in Tokyo as well.
Worldwide.
Oh, it's in Osaka. Sorry, it's in.
Yeah. But like, is it so they have the whole global rights?
Yeah.
So basically, the only way that would ever happen is if Universal either came back to Portaventura or picked a new site and was like, let's do it.
I just think these companies,
they
see
rewrite the contract. True. Because they are licensing it from Warner Brothers still. It's not like they're licensing it from J.K. Rowling. They're licensing.
Wasn't it a
Warner
joint
Brothers.
licensing though? Like, wasn't it jointly from Warner Brothers? And JK?
So Warner Brothers technically own Harry Potter. If you open any of the recent Harry Potter books, they all say copyright Warner Brothers. And
interesting.
I love that.
All right. So let's get right to it. Eduardo had a question about the retheme of Splash Mountain, but actually with a DLP twist. Could it be the time for DLP to add a version of that attraction and sharing the development costs, or what is our opinion on the retheme? So everyone's got
absolutely yes.
Everyone's got a different opinion. I don't know. I feel so. I've enjoyed Splash Mountain, and I know what it's based on, but I also know that the attraction really drew the cartoon characters from the movie. I'm a bit quiet. Okay. Drew only the cartoon characters from the movie and not really the rest of the story. But nonetheless, I feel like we've enjoyed it for many years, and it does reference that movie, and maybe it's time. And so I'm excited. I think it's a good time, and let's do it. And Tiana deserves a cool attraction, and I think this is a great attraction to do that retheme, because it's going to fit, I think, really well, as long as they get the story right, and then they bring in the song from the movie. It's got great music. It's got some great visuals, great environment, great universe. There's a bit of magic. There's a bit of mystery. There's a bit of scary, and so yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. Of course, I think everyone is gonna miss the whole zippity doo and everything, but it's had its time, and I think that's how I feel. What do you guys think?
I personally won't miss Splash Mountain at all. It was creepy, and I hated it. So
really,
yeah, no,
all the things I like.
Boom.
Like,
yeah, of all the things Patrick loves, like Small World and Splash Mountain, I'm like, nope, those are the two worst things in the world.
Wow. Well, you can't say we don't have diverse opinions on this show.
So I was always in favor of retheming it to Princess and the Frog, but what really sort of cemented, and even last week I was in favor of it, but I listened to a podcast over the weekend called, I think it was You Must Remember This, and it's a really interesting look at Splash Mountain, and I would challenge anyone to listen to it and not change their mind about Splash Mountain. So Disney re-released Splash Mountain in 1986, and they started work on Splash Mountain in 1987. It made $8 million, which actually put it in one of the top grossing films of the year.
Song of the South or Splash Mountain?
Song of the South, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
So they re-released it. It was one of the top grossing films.
Did they really?
And
do you think they'll still use Zippity Doodah in the parks?
No, I don't think they will, because so the point that they kind of closed this podcast on, which I thought was really interesting and brilliant, is that there's a huge movement sort of in those circles to re-release Song of the South, and that kind of is enabled by the fact that this attraction exists, because it kind of creates that mystique about there's a thing that I can't watch, so now I really want to watch it, and you get rid of that, and you almost, I hate saying write it out of history, but as you write it out of history, that film disappears from public consciousness, which is kind of where it needs to be.
Oh, Kun says what's going to happen with Disney Stars on Parade?
Yeah, lots of parade. Lots of parade. Most parade songs have at least a reference to Zippity Doo.
Yeah, that's true.
Does the new one, The Magic Happens, does that have Zippity Doo?
No.
I think at the end.
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. It does at the end, I'm almost sure.
It's sewing into so many different things, isn't it? Over the years.
I'm going to find it, but yeah.
I'm checking.
I think what Disney did very cleverly with this is get Tony Baxter on board with it.
Yeah.
Right.
As an advisor. I mean, there's a PR thing that was clever as well.
Yeah, and I think, look, 30 years is a long time, and people say, well, you could just build it to honor another attraction. Okay, in Disneyland, where?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of space.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge took all the space.
Just knock down Galaxy's Edge, it'll be fine.
Zippity Doodah is in there.
It is, yeah.
But it's a very throwaway line. I think they could get rid of it pretty easily.
Yeah, no, like in a lot of the parades, it is a bit of it is something that you could, theoretically just erase. But yeah.
Like they could just change it to a Mary Poppins thing, quick thing, like Supercalifragilistic or something for Stars on Parade, because that's what they already danced to. So.
But I mean, it has a lot of choreography and all those things.
Yeah.
Something I've learned from Elliot is that you can't just change a show.
Oh yeah.
But I do think that it is a very good point that having it in the public consciousness, even as a sort of forbidden thing, is kind of not good, and I think it should be consigned to the history books a little bit. But I also think the film should be accessible somewhere. I feel like it should be a part. It should be
accessible, but they shouldn't be able to make profit off of it. Is what and
they kind of mentioned that in that podcast too. That there's, you're taking. Oh, okay, so I'm not allowed this, but hey, I'm going to strip out all the racist bits and make money from that film. But also, I'm making money over here too, so I satisfy everyone, and that's probably not where they should be.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of Disneyland Paris, I mean, I'm gonna wheel out my usual answer to where should there be a new attraction at Disneyland Park. We do have an expansion pad behind Indiana Jones, and it could be some kind of Splash Mountain.
Indiana Jones Adventure and
Princess and the Frog. No, but I mean, even a Princess and the Frog Splash Mountain type thing, because I think there's definitely a water ride is needed in Disneyland Park, and that could be a good option. I also like the idea of having the Moana Splash Mountain version with the tiki bars. So that is still number one on my list. But if we can't have that, then Princess and the Frog, I think it could work as well. I mean, because Adventureland could do Princess and the Frog. I mean, Moana fits better, really. But you know,
the weird thing about this attraction, though, is that it takes place after the film. So 2 of the core characters are dead.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to get around that.
Wait, who's dead?
Ray and Dr. Facilier.
Right, but she can have a dream or some shit like that. It's Disney.
Yeah. I think they have to be in the attraction somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Dr. Facilier, that's it. Like, I mean, is anyone even going to go on it?
Dr. Facilier is a crime.
I mean, come on, like going down the bayou and Friends on the Other Side in an attraction. Yeah. Oh, yes, please.
I mean, Friends on the Other Side is definitely going to be before the drop, right? I mean, if it's not, then what are you even Imagineers?
Well, that should be going up, right? Dun, 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 dun,
dun.
Because it'll be fun. I'm excited.
And also, when you look at like another beloved attraction, like Tower, how that was rethemed to Guardians of the Galaxy, and I am not I'm not really even into Marvel, and Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my absolute most favorite attractions ever. It's so good.
That's so a good one, yeah.
So like, you know, I especially like Darren said with Tony Baxter coming back, I really don't know how they're going to screw this up, because I really think they can.
And Luke says Dr. Facilier could technically come back because he was only dragged back to the other side. He's not dead.
Yeah, he's a shadow man, of course.
So if you go through the other side, I mean, you could go down the drop and end up in the other side.
No,
they could have like his shadow, like on the wall. Like...
Yeah, you want to escape him. You're going to drop down, and you want to be down the bayou with Tiana, all the like everyone on the bow, and like Mama Odie. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to go for my fear of all these drops. Go on these rides.
This is so much fun.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for this, and the concept art is beautiful.
They're gonna build a tree on top. That's interesting. It's gonna make the mountain even taller.
Yeah.
And at night, it's
right
gonna be stunning.
Right now, the top is just kind of like, I don't know, like branches and stuff. But there's gonna be a whole tree with a thing in it. Yeah.
Oh.
How high is the drop?
Axel could not get an AP.
Oh, it's not high at all, Steph. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
Just don't watch my Periscope for the first time I went to
Just don't look at the
my god, the Periscope where you scream like a mad person. Oh my god,
that was genuine reaction, because I was not expecting that. I was like, it's gonna be fine. It's like, it doesn't even look that bad. And then you're at the top.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
Have we all seen the photo?
We have to find it. And it must be somewhere, right? Do you have it, Patrick? We have to play the audio for the next show.
Yeah, it's somewhere on my Twitter. Yeah.
The thing like you don't get is when you look at it for the first time. So yeah.
It'll be worth it for Tiana, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I love like how you go down and you even go underneath like the sidewalk. You'd like go proper down.
Oh god.
I remember watching a documentary about her, and Tony Baxter because one of the problems when they were building it was like, oh, there's no space, and Tony Baxter was like, I'll work with the space.
Underground.
Yeah.
Hold my beer, don't worry.
He's like, don't worry about it, it's fine. Just give me the money. It's okay.
He like pulls a drag from a cigarette. He's like, it's time. Let's go.
I love that they brought him on for this, because they were probably like, okay, so we need to appease the fans. Who are we gonna call? Tony Baxter. No one is gonna say anything bad about Tony Baxter, and surely enough, there's not many people who are disappointed, who are like angry. So yeah.
No, and I feel like if this was ever gonna happen, like the way Disney and the Walt Disney Company in general likes to share costs. If it was ever going to happen, it's around now, but I still don't think it's going to happen for Paris. I mean,
no, I don't think I don't think so. No, but talking about new attractions and stuff in Paris, the next question is about lands. Do you prefer the model of a land with a more general theme, like Fantasyland and Adventureland, that is basically has quite a bunch of somewhat related universes mixed into a general theme, or a detailed land dedicated to a certain universe, like Avengers Campus or Frozen?
Frontierland.
Frontierland.
Just, I mean, like, I like it. Like, personally, I don't like it as specific as Avengers, like, the campus is going to be. But, like, Frontierland, at least it has a decent story you can follow, and the theming stays consistent, you know?
Yeah.
That's just my...
I feel like
it's kind of timeless as well, isn't it? It's got that timeless quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you step in, and it's like always this, like, ghost town type thing, like.
And then you walk down the back of it, and then there's like this jamba, like African concert behind the curtain, and you're like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "Yeah."
Lion King, all right.
Yeah. Oh God.
I love the concept of Fantasy Springs at Disney Sea, like a bit of both, you know.
Right. It is a good concept because it's a mix. Yeah. It's a It is kind of a general land in terms of like it has different stories and franchises, but also it has an overall theme. But it's not really a theme. Yeah.
I think obviously they've done their surveys, and in their surveys, the guests want to feel like they're actually in the movie, like not in the attraction in the movie, like walking in the movie. So I think that's why they've gone to this shift. But I don't like the whole 2 rides, a restaurant, a shop, and we're done. Like that's not allowed.
Which is different from what Tokyo is doing, Harry Potter. Because Beauty and the Beast in Tokyo is very much like Beauty and the Beast land.
And and it also fits nicely into Fantasyland at the same time. Like we forget our Fantasyland is actually very different in sections, you know, in Paris. Like you've got the UK section, the German section, the French section.
Yeah, there's a weird echo on your thing.
It's not me, I can hear it.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's just I feel like sadly it all comes down to marketing, and then. You know, they need something that's going to make a giant splash. That's also why I think we're not getting brand new, you know, Disney parks attractions that are not based on anything. Like, it's really rare to have Imagineers come up with original stories for Disney parks, because marketing kind of struggles to explain to people what it is. And people are not as excited.
Like there's a queue of
but
movies
if you tell them,
should...
exactly, if you tell them, you know, Frozen Land, like, no one needs to be explained that. You know, everyone knows what Frozen Land is going to be. All you have to say is you get to walk in Arendelle, and then people will be like, okay, I'm sold. You know, so I feel like it's so much harder to try to like make those lands, but you can also make lands that have different, like in Disney Sea, lands that have different movies and properties, and try to make them fit together, which is kind of a tough one, but it's possible.
And the annoying thing for me is that I'm one of those people who goes, I love like all the classic lands like Adventureland, Frontierland, like I want more of them. And then as soon as they say, again, like you say, you get to go to Arendelle, I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
But even like Cars Land is sensational, because it's not just like, it's not like you get in the ride and you get off. You get into this like whole universe that you can shop, eat, like they go on rides. It's absolute, like it was the first time I've ever went to like a land and came out and was like, oh my god, I've been to Radiator Springs. I feel like I know what it feels like to actually be there. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Because that's actually a fulfilled concept. It's not just like 2 attractions, a shop and a restaurant. It's actually, they've really wanted to transport you into the movie, and that it's so successful because there was no sort of, they didn't cut corners and just like do half a section. They actually rebuilt the whole thing picture perfect, and that's where it works.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like really, you know, Disney and Universal have been really going for those like one IP lands, and it's kind of what they're trying to do.
They work, right?
They do work.
Like, Carsland's great, and Galaxy's Edge. Okay, yeah, there's something missing, but it is amazing.
Pandora is amazing, even though Pandora is not really that much of a successful IP when it comes to the films. I mean, it is, but like it's kind of old now. But people love it because they
get ready for 4 more movies.
I know. Like, are they ever coming? Those things?
Yes.
Okay.
Next year, right? I think
one of them was supposed to be like this year, but then everything got pushed back.
Classic 2020.
I don't know how it's gonna happen. I just don't.
But it's good. It's good for the land, I guess, because they'll get to have some new stories and maybe some regained interests for the IP. I guess maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it still has like that one ride. Always has a constant Flight of Passage. Always has 4 to 5 hour wait. So it's like they don't even care about the.
Yeah. I mean,
they're just like, I'm going on this ride.
The thing is, it's because it's a great attraction.
Yeah.
And I think no matter what you theme it to, a great experience and a great attraction is always going to be popular. And that's what they need to realize as well. Maybe they can make original stories of Disney parks if they have a great attraction, like a great ride system, a great experience. Maybe you can have a story, because what is the story in Flight of Passage? Like, you just flying over a planet, you know? It could be any planet. So maybe one day they'll make a new film and just like fly a different part of the planet for the new movie. That'd be interesting. But yeah, it's a tough one. I do like the immersive lands, because you really feel like you're there, and it can seem like, you know, the bins and the food, and it's just like so pushed to the max, which I think is really cool. But also enjoy the classic lands, but more like nostalgia, I guess. We have a question from Sevi, Disney Maniac. He says,
Sevi.
Sevi, yeah. Do you guys think we will have the old and 100 times rethemed party train back for the opening with the characters? Party train.
Surprised.
Maybe, right?
Please no. Please no.
I mean, they are using it in Hong Kong. Basically the same type of train. And the characters
kind of work. It works, doesn't it?
It does work. It does work. But the train doesn't stop. So if you don't know the time of the train and the train doesn't stop, I guess social distancing is fine, because you're only going to see it if you happen to be there on Main Street, you know. And you can have enough cast members to like sort of tell people to like not clump together or follow the train.
I think I prefer how they did it just before lockdown, when they put out like a car and they threw Goofy on it, and I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cute. They did such a good job. That last week.
If they could do the train, couldn't they also do?
And they had the pirates and princess. Yeah.
I think the car's a good way, because it's less characters. You're just going to put one on it. That's not going to draw any kind of a crowd.
It's over very quickly, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh, that's cute," and it might brighten as they're walking through, but no one's gonna like try and find out set times and queue on the parade route, and you know.
Could they bring the Frozen float out?
Oh no, that would stop people like crazy.
Yeah.
If they put the original dress on it, on Elsa, yes, I'm for it.
On the car.
I want the traveling costume.
Yeah, traveling would be fun.
This costume was such a mess, but anyway.
The tricycles.
Oh
yes.
no!
The tricycles.
No.
Yeah.
No, could we have the tricycle gang?
Come on.
Oh no, man! Please. Well, the drivers
Can we have the
are gonna
tricycle gang? I want the tricycle
Guest Star
gang.
Tuesday.
Every day, Guest Star Tuesday now.
I wonder if Guest Star Tuesday is going to be back. I guess not.
They could do that on a tricycle. It'd be fine.
Yeah,
come on.
Like they'll just edit the song every day, right? Today is Wednesday.
And you know what it is.
The whisper. Today's Wednesday.
They just did it instrumental and played the song.
No, they'll just dub it like, you know, like
the guest star every day. So they just did the Guest Star Tuesday song.
Just dub it. It'll be more fun. Like they're all in tune, and just like an announcer guy comes on and goes, Wednesday.
No, you have to whisper it.
Yeah, they'll start whispering.
On Main Street. Main Street gazebo should be the guest star selfie spot.
There's no Wednesday without you.
Yeah, but you need to have like a massive self-distance queue to handle that.
True. Line Bertie.
I know, yeah.
Oh God.
Sorry, it's coming back in force. Like they're gonna be all
Les
bad.
billets sont disponibles sur Line Bertie.
Oh, okay.
So we have another question from Eduardo, and it's kind of like, so now because you know it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it's gonna be time to wrap up soon. So now we're gonna do the, you know, everyone goes around and answer the question type of question.
Oh, I like this one.
So the first one is let's talk about music. What is your favorite Disney song, and for you, how important is the right music to an area's theming and overall park experience? Well, I guess that's more of a global question. Sorry, we can all answer. But maybe we can go around. Do you guys have a favorite Disney song? Are we talking Disney song?
Yeah.
Or are we talking Disney parks?
Is this park songs? Or
Parks? Maybe let's do parks. Yeah, because we kind of have a parks podcast.
Oh God.
I think mine is The Wonderful World of Disney Parade.
Oh wow.
Okay. Dancing and Catching Rhythm.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
It's the classic Disney parade song for Paris.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
good. Mine is the Space Mountain area music. And for those who were asking, this is what you hear before the show starts every week. Because I think some people were trying to Shazam it. It's the Space Mountain area music. So when you exit Space Mountain, if you try to get close to the speakers, you can hear some of those songs still have a bit of the melody of Space Mountain Mission 1 in it, you know. So you can still
that
hear
music at night is really nice, like with the lights.
Walking around Discoveryland with that music at night, and you can hear the wonderful noise of the. Although now I think it's gotten better because they're like high hybrid, but you have like Autopia next door who's like you know, kind of ruining the experience, but also bringing that whole like, you know, Discoveryland's like feel to it. Yeah, and it smells a bit like exhaust. It's part of the experience. Right? I mean, it's not as bad as Disneyland. Is it? No, Magic Kingdom like really stinks.
Yeah, because ours are electric now.
Well,
and in Magic Kingdom it's just plain ugly as well.
Or are they hybrid? I don't know. I don't want them.
They're hybrid, I think, something like that. Yeah.
You know, all the fully electric cars are just sitting in Hong Kong unused.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
because the speedway shut.
Yeah, because
they were fully electric.
The Avengers. It was a question on the quiz.
It was. I remember it.
Sorry.
Thanks, Ben. So next time you're like, Patrick, the next time you should do a themed quiz. The theme will be things that Ben has forgotten that were already in the quiz.
And I will think that they're all new questions, but they're not. Patrick, what is your favorite Disney Parks music?
Oh God, I really can't pick one because I love so many of them.
It's a small world.
You have to, Patrick. Come on.
If just to like suggest something a little bit different that people may not have heard, but it was one of my favorite things when I heard it was Tomorrowland in Shanghai Disneyland. It is so good. And at nighttime the music syncs up with the Tron Dome. So like all the beats will like the lights will start flashing in sync with the beats. If you get a chance, there's like a couple of hour loops where it's like people that have filmed it for an hour, and you get to see it get dark and whatever. And if you have just an hour where you're like cleaning or like whatever, stick it on because it is. That's how I listen to music. I'm like, yeah, stick it on. Yeah, so it's really, really cool, and you mightn't have heard it before. And I've shared it in the chat before here, and there's a specific part that I really like, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Very nice.
But it's not my favorite. It's just something that I would suggest you might listen to because it's quite good.
Fair enough. Kat.
Okay, I think mine is pretty easy to guess, but I'm going to say it anyway. Yes, Phantom Manor Suite, but the original, the original suite, like the full
100%
one, is the best. It's like I literally just listen to that constantly. Like I have it on as background music, like in my house.
I know.
Oh God.
You know, isn't it Elisa who has a Phantom Manor bedroom? Elisa, Queen Ursula.
Yeah.
She does, right? And she has like the purple wallpaper and stuff. I remember seeing that, something like that.
That's what my mask is. I got a Phantom Manor themed mask. So I'm just showing
it. You get that from Redbubble.
Nice. So I just got talking about like, you know, sounds. I was just sent the screams of Patrick on Splash Mountain.
Oh yes.
So are you guys ready? Okay.
Oh yeah. God.
Here we go.
Here we go. There you go.
That'll be
hard of the trip.
Thank you, Seb, for sending the video. There's also a video, but there's not much to see. It's mostly just water. Who's next? Steph.
I've got a few, but my favourite is, you know, the music when you're coming out of dreams and they play that song as you're leaving the park.
Oh yeah. If you can dream. If you
Yeah.
can dream.
And I also Let the Magic Shine from Missing in Position. So.
Oh yeah, good one. Oh, sweet choices. Good. Jeff.
I think I've mentioned this before. One of my first memories of the parks was in the evening for the Main Street Electrical Parade and Borough Down, and when that just begins and all the lights start turning off. Like, that is shiver-inducing and the best thing in any Disney park. And I'm really glad that I got to relive that last summer, even though it was the sort of slightly remixed version. It was good enough for me.
When you see like how Eddie Soto talked about that on the Imagineering story about how like people responded so well to it, like the music and whatever, I'm like, oh, just give us a nighttime parade again, please, thank you.
Yeah, and nighttime parades are, again, I think we've even said this exact sentence before, but they are kind of the thing that I think only Disney can do. And they can definitely, it's the only people who do it well, for sure.
Yeah, I was in New York Park and they did this Halloween parade and I was like, wow, yikes. It was fun because they had like fire and stuff, but it was very like none of the floats were lit up and they had these characters on them, but you had no idea what was happening unless people were taking pictures, because that was the only way you could actually see what was going on. It was so tragic. Yeah.
Who's next? Elliot.
Rhythms of the No. I would have to say as well, Let the Magic Shine too, or Live the Magic from Disneyland Resort for their 60th anniversary.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, good one.
What about you, David?
Probably the song that they used to play after Illuminations in Epcot when you were leaving the park. Probably that.
If you could, wrong resort.
Yeah, not the song after Illuminations in Paris.
Yeah, that one.
Not that I've ever heard it. I'm usually on the RER by that time. But...
Yeah, they have tons of good music, and of course, obviously, to answer the rest of the question, I mean, I think we all agree that music is such a crucial part of the experience, and oftentimes you don't realize it when you're just walking around, but the music helps the mood, and it changes your whole attitude towards your environment when you change lands and when you go from Fantasyland to Adventureland and all that stuff. So
yeah, like during the strikes when they had those, like when they would stop the music and make announcements and stuff, like I was in like the Ratatouille section, I'm like completely thrown out of it. I'm like, oh, is this not Disney anymore,
Yeah.
Like it's just
I've had times where the audio system on Main Street has malfunctioned and you're just stood on Central Plaza or whatever with no music and you're like, I should not be here.
It's so weird.
Yeah, very weird. So everyone answered yes. Anyone else? Nope. Well, just to finish the podcast, Kuhn wants to know what is the first thing that we'll be doing when we return to DLP after such a long time.
Crying.
Figuring out how QR codes work with security.
Oh man, I was going for just taking a stroll down Main Street or something.
You turn up at the gate and you present this piece of paper and the security guard looks at you and goes, "What is this?"
I mean, don't joke. This is within the realm of possibilities.
That's 100% it.
Yeah. Well, that we all show up on day one and people are like, we're not ready yet. So we're gonna have to
go back home, please.
Come back. Can you come back in an hour because we forgot to open the gates.
Patrick and I are here at 6 a.m. They're like, please.
Yeah, I'll bring coffee and cookies. It'll be fine.
I think I will take a big stroll around Main Street and the arcades and just I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if there's. I know it sounds really tragic, but I'm excited to see if there's anything like new in the shops. Just because I've saved. I've saved all this money from the confinement, and I need something. Oh, yeah.
Luke says, arguing with the cast member that my AP hasn't expired, it's been extended.
I don't think you have to worry about that now. In my case, I'm definitely going to have to worry about that in November 2021, when like I'll be at the tail end of this nonsense, and like the cast member will be a temporary contract, and they'll look at it and go, "Well, why are you giving me this?"
But I'm gonna be in the same boat as you. I did mine in the last week of February.
Yeah, there's not going to be many of us next November with these.
But I mean, what reassures me is that when you go on your AP portal, you can see your new dates. So at least it is registered somewhere. Now, is this synced up with the turnstiles? That is the big question. But if that database is, because, you know, when you get a new AP, obviously they have to add it to a database that is going to make the turnstiles work. So there's got to be some kind of link there. So hopefully that's all.
I'm not concerned about the turnstiles, but more concerned about the bag drop at the consigne and the discounts in the shops. Like, are they all going to talk to each other? Because my AP doesn't work at the bag drop anyway. And at the I went to the AP office, sorted it out. They were like, "Oh yeah, just have them like call us if they say no." And I was like, "Well, great." So me in November 2021 saying, "Oh no, it's not expired because it doesn't scan on their system."
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like.
Elliot, just learn the phrase, because remember coronavirus.
Yeah.
And like all the cast members are going to go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that most cast members will just be quite, you know, lenient and.
Won't they just put it onto the scanner, and if it scans, it scans, and if it doesn't scan,
it doesn't scan. Like, it just doesn't work at the backdrop. It doesn't work.
No. I'm talking about like getting into the park and whatever.
Yeah.
So like, just scan it, and if it works, just let them walk.
Getting in will be fine. It's when you have to hand over the pass for discounts that'll be fun.
Yeah. Does anyone have other things to look forward to doing as soon as they come back?
Well, I remember tweeting that when I get back, I'll be going on Space Mountain and a Tower Terror, so and I'm just gonna be like
for your first time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can I be there?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I went on Big Thunder. We're all witnesses.
I went on Big Thunder like 2 years ago, and I've never been back on it, so I don't know what I've got myself in for, but you know.
Hyperspace was my first looping coaster, and there's this photo my friends have, like they're all smiling and stuff, and then it's just me just absolutely terrified, like. And then we ended up going on it 3 times in a row, so.
Hyperspace is fine unless you get the one that doesn't work with like the music. Then it's just horrific.
When the music doesn't work, it's like you're like, well, am I just wasting my time? You're just waiting for it to be over.
I'll just have a glow teeny before I go on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, not too many though, because that's gonna make you even dizzier.
True.
I'm excited to get my robot pizza and black bean chili from Badger Up.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, true. Maybe we'll have it soon, Elliot. We should have it when we go.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to some of these character meets with this distancing selfie shots. I think it's going to be kind of fun.
We're going to have to be distanced from Christoph after the struggle.
It's tough. Yeah.
But I think it'll be kind of fun on your Instagram because everyone's going to just sort of like lean back and make a face and lift their arms up, and they're going to do the same behind you, and with the I don't know, it could be cool.
I think this could be fun.
Yeah.
Your smile will be hidden by the mask, but
right, that is true. Oh, you're not supposed to take off your mask for those, right? Oh god.
No, you're not allowed to.
People will do it though. Like, not saying that it's recommended behaviour, but people will like get to the meet and greet, take the mask off, and go, "Oh yeah."
Gosh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Like, are they gonna like jump on guests? No, so I'm sure some people.
Captain America tackles a guest.
I know, right? Like,
just PSA. Technically, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. But,
just to be the responsible podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're responsible, but we will tell you how to get around the world by just turning up and not the reserve, but just reserve.
I'm looking forward to actually spending. So my trips recently have been more to see seasons and things like that. So I've done a lot of shows, a lot of character meets. I'm really looking forward to having a trip where my primary focus is probably going to be attractions, and I haven't had that for years now.
Yeah, and just walking around the park and chatting with everyone, you guys, and just hanging out. It'll be nice to just be all being at it, even though we'll be wearing masks and social distancing. That is kind of an interesting question. Like, so if we go all together to the park, like, are we fitting all between like 2 markers, or do we all have our own markers? Like, how does that work?
There's gonna be like some attractions where I'll just be like, do you know what? I'm gonna pretend that I'm by myself completely now because I really want to do this by myself.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
like, I just want my own Ratmobile.
Because if you visit with some friends, you're supposed to be a party, right? So are we all gonna like fit between 2 markers altogether?
To create a holiday bubble kind of thing with your friends.
Yeah.
Right. Holy bubble.
The cast of 6 are allowed to go on a tour around the country. Like we're holiday bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Holiday bubbles is going to be a thing. Yes.
Well, good to know. What about you, David?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, that's clear. yeah, true.
I am really looking forward to that. Actually, I have missed like these marquee attractions like Big Thunder Mountain and Pirates that I think we've sort of just taken for granted. But having the parks closed,
I miss the smell of
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, that water.
It's gonna be nice having a bit of a reset. Like I haven't been to the parks for 5 months. That's like such a long time.
I haven't been since December. That's so long.
Yeah, because we all kind of get spoiled. Like, we all kind of get really spoiled and go for weekends all the time and.
Because we're like, oh yeah, this season, that show, this new pin. Let's have them move for a pin. This new like character meet, this brunch. We're all like, it's like we haven't been to these. We've been starved of this experience. Like it's gonna be so fun being there, just like seeing the castle.
Yeah. And everyone was gonna go for like the Euro Disney merch and everything. And that's when you realize like how spoiled we are. Like so many people were gonna go just for the weekend to buy sweaters, and I'm like, okay, now we've been deprived for 4 months, and everyone just wants to sit on Main Street and look at the view.
However, when they do renounce those sweaters, I'm still going.
Yeah.
I've watched us walk in the first day, and they just be on some rack at the back of the Emporium.
That's why I'm going to the shops. I'm like, what if the Euro Disney stuff is just out, and it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, great, let's do it.
I would not be surprised at all.
Patrick, what is the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to go into Small World?
Yeah, but like first attraction is 100% Small World, just because it makes me feel like really happy. So like, and when you go into that final room and you're like, yeah, okay, like everyone, like I go into that final room and I'm like, the whole world can just get on, and then by the time I'm in the tunnel, I'm like, oh wait, shit, no, I can't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then you check your phone and you're like, oh shit, the news is still here.
Yeah, and then but like just that little like 45 seconds you flow through that room, you're like, yeah, everyone can be okay.
Plus you'll have Natasha behind you who's gonna say, there's no magic without you.
Yeah. There's no Small World without you. I'm like, yeah, okay, great.
Before they shoot you off in the cannon in hyperspace.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well, I think we've been going 2 hours and 35 minutes, so maybe it's time to close. I don't think we'll be back next week.
Oh,
but no, we need to get like a bit of a.
It's a very special day next week.
We need to we need to like arrange all this sort of back off the air, because there's the next few weeks is really disrupted because then the parks open and we're all going, I think.
Yeah. Well, if the parks close at 7, can we do a show live from the resort?
Yes, I think we should do the next podcast. Maybe let's just record at the resort. And now, listen, we have said before that we were going to record at the resort. It's actually never happened. But this year, this year actually, with no shows and parades and stuff to distract us, I feel like
you have to leave the park by 7.
Right, so we will have some time. But it would be nice to record a little bit in each of the lands, like we did back in the day. We did this with Axel. And it was one of our most successful podcasts ever. And you can hear the background music, and also you could hear everyone putting things in the bins, which are much louder than you think when you record something. All you can hear is the bins going like, bing, bing, bing. It's just like really disruptive.
But again, boring logistic thing. But if we're all wearing masks, will the audio be a bit muffled?
Not if you wear the Adidas one. So wear some good masks. I swear this is not an affiliate link. I am not getting any royalties. But see, look, I can put it on. So like, see, like now I have it against my face, and my voice I think is not so much different. Is it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. Yeah, so
I'll try mine after we're finished.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also the surgical ones are pretty good to talk through them.
That's all
It's kind of like the thick cotton ones are quite hard to talk to. You kind of sound like you're being, I don't know, suffocated, but you're not. But yeah. Anyways, so so I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll try. Jeff, what's going on?
We'll stop boring people with logistics until.
I know. Yeah,
we'll go and do logistics on our own.
But I mean, the positive note here is next time you will listen to this podcast, Disneyland Paris will be open. So
unless something crazy happens.
Jeff, shut up. Yeah. Don't jinx it.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about name tags. There's new name tags.
Oh yeah,
new name tags. They're pretty. We like them. They're pretty. I'm glad that they did something timeless and classy and did not try to get too original, because you just want like a nice classy name tag. It's silver.
There hasn't
gold.
been a single good one since the 25th.
There hasn't. There really hasn't. Well, the Mickey Mini ones were kind of cute.
Oh no, but they're bad quality. I'm holding it now. It's like really grainy.
Humble brag.
But hardly. I think it's a year ago today as well.
Oh.
Anyway,
Have we really gone through 3 name tags in a year? Wow.
I really like the purple ones they had before the 25th.
Yes. Yeah, the purple ones were great.
Yeah. But the thing is, somehow they have a huge stock of the silver backdrop, and so they keep making those silver ones. So I think silver and gold works, but like that silver with the like rainbow things on the side and the weird 3 circles on top, like that was just like, what, like, were you high when you designed this thing? But now the new one is just really pretty. Simple gold castle.
There's a lack of borders. We love borders as well.
Yeah, the Mickey Mini ones didn't have any borders, and that was just kind of weird. But this one has like 2 big parentheses, 2 gold parentheses. So I think it kind of frames it nicely. Yeah. It's nice. I don't know about the slogan being written in French on it, but I guess, that is what it is.
There's no magic without you.
Exactly. Oh God. I'm going to dream of this at night now.
Yep.
Alright, so to end the show, we're going to play another remix, and it's a remix of a very famous song. It's the Main Street Electrical Parades. That everyone loves. And it is so I guess it's a Japanese or something.
Yeah, it's
Shinichi Osawa. There you go. Shinichi Osawa extended mix.
That's the one.
So thank you everyone for joining, and thank you everyone for listening, and wishing the best of luck to everyone at the resort, the cast members, operations, and the guests. Everyone follow the rules. Wear your mask, social distance, prove that Paris can do it right. Don't embarrass us.
Make a reservation, but you don't have to.
Make your reservation, but if you don't have one, just show up early.
We just 20 minutes telling you how to not do it, but also telling you
to just show up at the gate and be like, "There's no magic without me. Let me in. There's no
exactly.
magic without me."
This is false advertising.
There's gonna be like people showing up at 6 a.m. now. Be like, "But I listened to the DOP Report podcast." And
I know. But no, make a reservation and be good guests and be kind to everyone and the cast members who are working there all day. So yeah. So next time we'll see you, Disneyland Paris will be open, and so good news. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.